Like that or what? Let me get that hoodie. It's a really nice hoodie, actually. Hard to get down, huh? Oh. There. Pull that sleeve in there, show you on the outside like this. Way to the very end, yeah. You think Val will mind? Fastest black belt in history.
Se vocês começar,
Ah.
o áudio parece estar duplicado.
Okay. Are we live or no? Oh, we are. Hey guys.
Hey guys.
What's up? Meet our friend, Bubba. 2.0. Actually 3.0. 3.0. There was the original Bubba. Then there's this Bubba for kids, which is the best grappling bear for kids. And then there's Bubba 3.0, which is the grappling bear for kids adapted for grown-ups. And you guys, a lot of you guys need training partners right now. And this is the best recommendation. You're not going to be able to get this Mata Leon gi for a few months, but it's just a prototype. But you can make your own grappling partner.
Yes.
And if you don't have a Bubba, there are other variations where you use pillows in both the body and in the head, and you can still make it work, okay?
You do need a hero hoodie though.
Yeah, it has to be a hero hoodie. If you don't have a hero hoodie,
It probably won't work.
yeah,
the
it's
same.
just not going to feel the same when you grab. It won't be as effective as a training partner. They won't, resist as much on the submission. They
Yeah.
won't give the full training experience.
You can tell the arm lock there's a certain resistance because of the hero hoodie
Because of
material.
it. All right, you guys, welcome to
Side mount.
live super webinar part 2 side mount. And we're about to get started. Some people are still tuning in, we assume, right? They're just joining the party because last time we had so much glitches in the beginning, so many glitches through YouTube, but now YouTube redeemed itself. We're good to go, and here we are, you guys. This is a private seminar only for CTC students all over the world and their instructors, of course. So welcome everyone. And even though we don't know how many people are watching, we don't know what's going on right now. All we know is that everyone on the other side of that camera, we know who they are.
Yes.
There's no strangers watching right now. Because if you train at a CTC, it's family from top to bottom. Do you want to show that little switcheroo drill that you drew on this? That's so ridiculous. Here, now do a little something here while we wait for our friends to come in. That little switcheroo side to side. You know his favorite move ever, and if you're ever sparring with him,
And you get caught. Not my favorite move ever.
Oh,
But
that's
like,
true.
it is very fun.
We're gonna learn his favorite move ever today.
Yeah,
Tom, we already made that agreement.
Well, my favorite move 7 years ago.
Oh, it was so abusive.
Every year
it was so
changes.
painful.
So there was a year where when you get to this position right here, and I feel like it's over for my buddy right here. I feel like there's no way out of this. And once you are so good at controlling and finishing the arm lock, you get to a point where things start to become boring. And you start to feel like you need another challenge. So then I started saying, you know what, I'm gonna take this arm. And I take this arm by cupping the tricep. And then I do this. Put my hand down and watch my legs.
Oh, it's so frustrating to get caught in this one, you guys. It's the worst.
And the reason why it's so bad is because you actually have, you never imagine, it makes no sense that somebody in my position would cup the far arm.
Yeah.
Because usually people cup the far arm, but when you're holding hands, they pull here. As it locks out this arm, it also straightens this one.
Right.
And then they hug this.
Yes, they do that.
So then, when I cup the far arm, they almost bend their arms more.
Yeah, they kind of fight into
So
it.
they fix it into the position that I need it to be in.
Right. I want to give Bubba some life.
Hey, the hero hoodie's doing that. I cup it, my hand goes down. Now this leg leaves the body, the head. But as soon as it, even before it leaves, my weight is on this and on this. The key of the move is to get my hips behind this elbow as quickly as possible. So I go like this, watch. My leg goes limp off, and my hip switch. I'm sitting right here, I'm not even on the ground. But with my hand on the ground, again, a little bit of weight on the hand, but a lot on the body. I lean and my second leg flies and I land right here. Once, maybe 50% of the time, they will lock hands again. Most of the time, though, they won't lock hands. So then you can just snatch this wrist back. Because there's this belief, what just happened? This arm was in danger and you took that one, who would do that? But the only person who does that is somebody who, when they land here, they already have experienced the victory of this arm lock, even though the person didn't tap.
Let me take this phone case off right here. Stand by. Now, ask him if the audio got better, Evandro. How's that, you guys?
Hand on the ground. As the leg leaves, I put the weight on this foot and this hand, switch, hip. Hip is tight. Still holding the arm, and then my leg flies. Boom, grab the wrist.
Excellent. Audio's better. Excellent, you guys. So why don't we start where we promised we would go, which is, there were several years, Bubba, you chill right here, we'll call you in a second, and I don't feel like getting abused. I'm just leave you right there. There were several years, you guys, where it was nothing but abuse. And I think that many of the people watching right now,
Did you say nothing but technique? What did you say?
well, you were delivering technique, I was receiving abuse.
You were interpreting my technique as abuse.
Yeah, it's a love language.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We don't speak the same love language.
Yes.
And
Not that year.
so you guys, so it was just so tough, right? Because when you're a kid, 13, 14, 15 years old, and many kids who are watching right now probably can relate to this. A kid who's 1 or 2 years older, it's a big advantage.
Right, you said that you were 14, 15?
I'm saying I was 14 and you were 16.
No, you were a little older.
When it went down? Yeah, it's true. When this all went down, it was serious. But even still, I still got beat up when I was 11, 12,
Yeah.
13, 14, 15, right around 16 years old, 17, and he was like 18 and a half, 19, is when he just got my number. And I was getting better, but he was getting better faster. And it just felt like I would never close the gap. And the move that he used the most during that period, we're going to teach it to you guys today. I already made Vito an agreement. We made 1 for 1. We're going to give quick flips to an entire family in exchange. He agreed. He's going to teach the one. And I'm going to also be able to teach in this process.
And I'm going to pick the family.
Oh, man. Of course. Okay. Vito gets to pick the family. He picked the submission and the family. So I'm also going to teach.
You picked the submission.
I know, but
I picked the family.
You picked it to torment me for so many years. Let's do it. Check this out, you guys. So he would pass my guard, right? Knee slice right here through the center every time. Pass my guard. I remember years. And then you would get to do it once, then we'll talk about it. Yeah, it brings back so many memories. So many flashbacks. Luckily I haven't been here for a good time, and I feel like I've defended it recently in my life for the last 5 years. Not because it's not still an amazing move. I've defended it.
I not going for it?
Because I don't even let Hito get this underhook and land in a position where that is even possible. I'm not even defending the submission anymore. I'm defending the setup for my life. I'll get caught in anything else but that.
So talk them through the steps and we'll get deep into details.
That's a lesson in itself.
Yes.
Right? Preventing the setup, keeping his elbow glued to the ground, not letting him get under his elbow. You know, smart hand positioning.
Yes.
Is the defense.
And we'll talk about some of those once he finishes it. We'll talk about some specific defenses if you get tied up in this.
So cupping this arm, getting this right here. A lot of times the arm is under my arm, like that. So putting my knee across his belly, let's say he blocks my knee, I scoop his elbow.
Yeah.
There are a few different ways to get this person's arm to expose itself to where I can do this. I can cup it, and now I tuck this arm in. From here now, I frame the neck. The idea here is that his attention is on his neck and not on the arm. So cupping, elbow tucked in, almost shoulder pinching. Anchor the shoulder, slice the neck. I want his hand to be taking my arm, pushing it off his neck. Do what you did before, how you took me over. He's not going to pull it down. He's going to try to alleviate the pressure. Again, the focus is here, not here. As he does that, my knee slides in his armpit. Once my knee slides up, my second leg steps right here near his belt. When the foot lands, watch how my heel right here comes in the armpit. Look, boom, boom. And now I grab his knee as I sit down. Keeping this knee, keeping my legs pinched. From here, I open my knee quickly, bring my foot through. And now I let go and I grab the wrist.
Oh, there's so much to do there, you guys. So good.
So, cupping the elbow, framing the neck, knee in the armpit. Now, I would say that when it comes to mistakes, it's this foot not stepping far enough, which means that when you sit on your foot. You sit like this, here. And now, taking my foot out of here is a little more difficult, takes more time. So a big step all the way near the back of near his belt. Now rotate this way. Also, his elbow is going to want to close this space because my heel, if my knee is here right now, if as I step, my foot does this, now look at where my leg landed on his forearm, which means that he's clear from my leg landing on his neck. So how quickly I can bring my heel into his armpit is what matters most. Here, framing, my leg steps. And now I don't simply turn and bring it straight in. I actually throw my knee out this way. So that in case his elbow does drop, I come around the elbow. So by opening my knee, my heel has a better angle of entry and less chance of getting caught up on his elbow. Look, here, look at my heel, boom. And there's a little bit of a strike with my heel and my calf against his body. There's a little punch, a little shock right there to the system. I hold this. Now this is not this. If this becomes this, he can turn towards me and pull his elbow to the ground. Go back. This is this. Look at my hand. Pull your elbow to the ground. So I'm lifting. And it's not a simple hold. It's a hold and a connection and a lift. Pull it down. See, now holding his pants and having my knee tight are because if I don't hold his pants, he can roll out over his shoulder. Go back. Same as this, I cannot just simply hold his pants and do nothing. I have to hold his pants and kind of insert my knee and pull. Roll out, let go ahead. So there's a little bit of life even in my hold. When I feel him relax, I open this, look, my knee, boom, boom, and my foot comes through. Which is a very quick movement because, Henry, bring your elbows and knees together a little bit. Close the space. I don't want this to happen. So I want, now most people won't do that, but the point is that there is a little bit of closeness here. So it's up to me to be sensitive, to feel for when I can open here, and look at my feet, you put things together, look at my foot, boom, my foot threads through, and now, wrist.
So powerful. And show them the other isolation method you use when they're being a little bit smarter.
Yes.
Not just giving you this arm right here, but a little more tough.
So, from side mount, I do it from here. I bring my hand through here. Okay, so palm, kind of work my way through and get to this. Once I get to this, I block his bicep and I pressure down. I already know that he understands that there's a big void under my elbow. Under my elbow? Yeah, there or all the way back inside. There, go again. So anytime somebody has their hands in, I work through it, hold here. As I open this, I already expect him to do that circle and I drop my elbow. Once my elbow drops, my hand comes underneath and I cup. The distance that he has to travel to get around my elbow is much further than freeze. The distance of my elbow just dropping, it's a straight line, straight to the ground. Go ahead, go under quick.
But I have to feel like that swim is possible for me to make the attempt. Some of you are like, you'll bring your forearm and you'll swim in, and right here you'll start driving, and now your elbow's already on the ground. Look at his elbow right here. I would not swim right now. I'm like, no, I'm straight. Now I feel like his elbow's up, I can get under. And then he'll beat me every time.
And I've never lost. It's impossible to lose because it's such a small
Well, here's why it's impossible to lose. Hito isn't responding to my swim.
He's responding
To the removal of energy of this resistance right here. Like right now, he feels 100% resistance into his forearm. When I go from 100 to 50%, he already drops his elbow.
because no one goes from 100 to 50 unless they're going on the way to 0.
Yes.
Which is all the way around.
2 dots on the graph make
Yeah.
a line, and we know where he's headed. So if I resist and I go light, he already drops his elbow. So by the time I get there, it's gone. Now, sometimes, lay down right there. So obviously, getting caught in this technique for 7 years straight, I kind of picked up some things, and I said, okay, if it works that good on me, it'll work that good for me.
That's another lesson for all you guys.
Yeah, it's critical, right?
As you're getting submitted, by your grappling buddies at home, remember what works on you.
Well, yeah, and that's the question. Every time you get submitted, you have a choice to get frustrated or fascinated. And I was getting caught, and there were days where I was like, man, this is ridiculous. What do I do? I should just, hang it up and be done. And then other days where I'm like, no, he can't keep catching me in the same thing forever. So 7 years later, I was able to kind of neutralize, and when I started peeking my head up and understanding what he was doing, interestingly, that kind of coincided with my lower back injury, where I stopped training for 10 months. I wasn't training because of my back surgery, and I was watching Hito, and watching him do this to other people relentlessly for 10 months from the sideline is different than being caught for 10 months in the blender.
You were watching from the
I was watching cameras, security, everything. I was always studying. After 10 months, I came back, and I didn't feel like I missed 10 months. I felt like I got better during the break, to where after the surgery, I was like, okay, I understand him better from watching him from the outside.
Wait, what did you just say? So if someone gets injured and you take some time off, but you still show up and observe classes, you could potentially
Be better
Be
than
better.
when you left.
Is that what you said?
Yes. And it doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be injury. It could be coronavirus.
No.
Quarantine.
Got it. Watch from home. You
Yes.
do better than if you didn't have it.
If you're watching GU videos, if you're watching the sparring videos, the narrated breakdowns that we have on GU, those are critical also. So anything you can see where you see people doing it from the outside, and narrating is even better. So anyways, this idea of this palm up entry, which can be done from side mount, where you trap the head, you kind of work your palm in here and you get it here. It's one option. The other option is you go knee on belly, if you need a little more space to operate, and then you can kind of use your hand and pry under, bug his neck, get him to defend. And now same pry, I go here, he swims, I drop, I drop, I drop, I drop. The problem I was encountering once I got here was that once I get the hand for that swim, right, I need the hand to be outside and south of my head, I was having trouble getting under his actual arm right here. People, not Hito, because I would never even get here, but other people who I was getting success with, I would get to here, and I'd be like, man, I'm trying to get my underhook, and their elbow would stay very heavy. Obviously, if you lifted this hand off the ground, I would love that, and you're giving it to me, which most do.
Most do, because people, remember, they want to get out and bar the side mount, so they begin to bump and twist and they go you. But the very few.
But the few that train with Hito were like, no, elbow heavy, not moving.
So their elbow would be so stuck, and it was so frustrating, that even though their hand was in the right position, I couldn't get under the armpit. So check this out. Pay attention. Top hand goes, full elbow hook, and pull it into the socket. Inside hand goes in the armpit, and now both legs,
Skydive. It doesn't even seem real.
rotate.
Like when they watch that, they're probably thinking that I'm lying.
You're fixed, yeah.
I'm helping you.
WWE.
Look, so forearm on the inside. I get his swim, right? So we start here, whether it's knee on belly, I'll do a shallow knee on belly here, I'll get under. If he's defending, I get his hand to defend. I start to pry this away from his body with the only objective of inviting that swim. Boom. As soon as he swims, you've had a drop.
And the reason why you have to invite the swing is because you try to cut my bicep right now, cut with your hand. Cut
Under?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if I go under now, you have
There's
nothing.
no arm.
You have no.
So you need my hand to be a
You
little
need
more
interlocking
south.
arms. It has to pass this arm.
It has to be over
And
here.
the only way I'm gonna get him to do that is if he swims. Now I block him, and now when I try to swim, his elbow's too heavy.
Yeah. Boom. So right here, once the elbow's too heavy, get off the knee on belly. Let's show the skydive. So one is a big hook on the elbow. And when I grab that hook, I'm not trying to lift it up. I'm trying to pull it into the socket, as if I'm trying to pull the humerus bone into the shoulder joint here, like in. Once I get it tight right there, I take my other hand, and I kind of just put my wrist in his armpit, just kind of getting it ready for the underhook. With this tight arm, with the tight humerus bone, pulling it into the socket, hand on the armpit. Here's the key now. You don't lift. You shoot, you lean forward slightly, then you take both knees and shoot your legs off the ground, rolling his whole body, not his arm, right? Because if Hito's body stays fixed, this is not coming up. Relax. This is not going to happen. But if his body stays fixed and you roll all of it,
his elbow comes off the ground. The only way to roll all of it is that your body is like a smearing mechanism that smears heat on the body this way, which can only happen if your legs move. So once I get to here and I get to the shoulder tight, I get
People
into
commonly go to their toes.
boom, yes.
People put their toes on the ground out there. Don't do that.
No,
Even if you like shoot them out, go on your toes. Like sprawl onto your
Don't
toes.
touch the ground.
No.
Nothing can touch. Watch out for Bubba. Hand comes in the armpit. Both legs, I like kind of lean a little forward to get the weight off my legs, and I shoot them straight. Boom. Underhook. Reset. And now we're good to go. At this point, I have to cup the elbow and pull them across. This is an interesting battle that happens here. When you get the underhook and you're trying to pull it across, if they're resisting here, it's quite an interesting battle. So, a couple elements. Number one, pushing off the ground. Number two, using your chin to pull them on the side. Number three, that elbow cup is there. It's not a hand, it's a wrist. Almost if I didn't have fingers, I could still be effective with this. So you're deep with it, and then you were doing this to me, which is like this elbow goes this way.
Yeah, it puts a little pressure.
Well, it's a little lever,
Yes.
right? Your body's the fulcrum here, and I'm
Yes.
trying to pull that elbow back. And then I facilitate that with my posted hand on my chin. And then until I feel resistance kind of cooperate here, and then once I do, that's when I shift the focus to this. Bug, bug, bug. He starts to push that elbow, find that knee in the armpit, start to set up your leg. And then it's time to rock and roll, you guys. And this one took me a lot of time to figure out how to turn my hips to do this. And ultimately, what Hidon said is, this knee that's in the armpit that becomes the heel, you have to spread this knee so far north as you step. Look, you do one, and you totally like turn and fall on that knee as you grab the inside here.
You almost land a little at a
Falling.
obtuse angle.
Yes.
You're not, because of the angle of this knee,
Let's rotate and show them.
it doesn't.
That's a great point. That's a very good point.
Normally you want to sit a little more this way.
Normal armbar, you're here perpendicular.
But the angle exists because of where this foot is.
So I'm like, not 45, but a little more north than 90 here, and I should hopefully have this, and my hips are deep, and I'm slightly north. It's an obtuse angle between my spine and his spine.
He grabs this before he sits down.
Right.
This, you grab that in the air, cup it, frame, big step. He's already go back, and he grabs. When we say you grab the knee, you grab here. If you grab here, look how there's less fabric. So you grab this.
So you step, you grab it, and you pull.
Yes.
And now I sit and I'm pulling, almost like I'm trying to fall, but I'm using Hidon's resistant arm as my mechanism to stay sitting up. So boom, I stay here, deep hips. And then like he says, you do a little scuffle, and then when you're ready, you retract, boom, and there's not energy on it, and you go here. And then from here, in terms of finishing options, we have many. Since we are here, there's obviously grip breaks and whatnot, but I'll just tell you the one that's number one right now. Because my leg's landing in his armpit, it's a little precarious. Many of you would look at this right now, many of you would look at this and say, wow, that's a second class arm lock finishing position. It's not first class, it's economy, it's not first class here. This is not first class.
Do you prefer this?
Hold on. For what I'm gonna show right now, yes.
Guy, but in general, do you prefer this?
Yes, no.
I know.
No, it's second.
So it is second class.
Well, it depends. If you don't, it depends what lane you're on. Look, so if I'm here, you guys go, oh yeah, I feel so much better. Everything's tight, right?
Show us
Over
what
here,
you're going to show.
here's the deal. So some of you guys look at this and go, oh man. I look at this and go, oh man. Check it out. I'm holding close to the north hand. I'll take my knee and I'll place it on his eyes. I'll do a little blindfold and I'll lay on my elbow. And I just lay the blindfold. And he always is going to use his hands and shuck it off and try to drive north. And then look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Squeeze 1, boom. Squeeze 2, and this elbow. Squeeze 3, 4. So he tries to do it with his knees. Look. Squeeze 4. Scratch compactor.
How could you do that so well?
So you're sitting here, his hands are locked. Look, I casually place that, but here's, don't stay sitting up. South hug, north post. I'll put my elbow on the ground and I'll place my knee on his face right here. With the goal, because if this leg wasn't here and my knee was on his face, he would want to use his hands to shuck it, and then watch. The key is that my foot is under his shoulder, drive right over, and defend himself. It's the correct defense. The problem is, I'll move down. A lot of people conflate that with this. Look, now you can't do that anymore. So if they think the same defense is possible, and I lay my knee here lazy, slowly slip your head. He can slip his head, but look, he has this little backpack strap right here. That's his worst nightmare. I just immediately shift from my hug right away to my ankle, and I do a little adjustment, retract my leg, tuck and hold, and now we're in this reverse triangle position, which is one of my favorites. Submission, choke, arms, whatever you want from here, it's yours for the taking. So it's a great finish when that foot ends in the armpit.
It's a great
You can only do it when the foot ends in the armpit. And therefore, when you land next time and the foot lands like that, don't feel like, oh man, this is so annoying. Think like, oh yeah, let's try that move. Lay north, lazy leg, let him slip it. Right away as he goes, you're going to be very surprised where he ends up.
And depending on the person, like where you place it matters, right? If you place it too high, it gives the impression that you're setting me up. But if you place it like literally like right on my like cheek, like it feels.
That's interesting. So the more technical this person is, the less obvious that knee placement can be. If the knee's too high and like, wait, you're trying to let him out on purpose, they're gonna go, wait a minute, why is he letting me out? That's a very good point. Very good. You gotta know your paddle right there for sure. Okay, side mount. Other bonus techniques you want to show? Like if you're gonna say, listen, I need to teach the world this right now.
Well,
And by world, I mean CTC family
Right
right
show
now.
one more thing, but you guys start asking your questions. You can start keeping those, and we're gonna do
Machine gun rounds.
machine gun answering, machine gun rounds, 15 seconds hopefully, so we can do as many as possible. When you have this arm cupped right here, just the general like, because keeping this arm here, because bring your hand out of there around my face, I don't want that. So really just understanding how I cup it, my shoulder, Henry said my chin, and knowing that like this arm, the more bent it is, the more it wraps around my arm. I would not like it if when I cupped his arm, look how it's straight. You see how it's, keep it right there, keep it right there, keep it higher, higher. I don't like this.
Yeah.
Meaning if I spin now and he kind of limp arm, turn and pull your arm out, turn, pull, yes. It was difficult for you to see, but just understand that when they're bent, they're literally wrapped around each other. Now, most are bent because most are trying to escape, and then kind of hide your arm, you bend it. So for the person on top, if somebody's arm is straight around my neck, put it on my neck. I don't want it here. So now I have to like, how can I get it down? I keep this and I bring my shoulder through here. I kind of punch it through. Anything I can to encourage the arm to go down and encourage you to hide your arms to your chest will make it to where my control is more effective. Good.
So, excellent. So you want to show your,
This move right here that you showed, where you hold this.
skydiver?
We haven't even been wearing gis.
Yeah, we can, whatever. I can put it on for you to try to, you want to try to grab?
Yeah, sure. The same move where we're here, the elbow's heavy, you can also grab onto elbow heavy, grab onto the fabric. And the great thing about this is you don't have to lift the elbow more than
Yeah,
1.5
1 inch.
inches. Grab it tight. Sometimes we use our shoulder and our head to pinch the wrist, and then, oh,
There it is.
so if you saw it, it lifted very little, whereas when you did it with me, it lifted a little bit higher. So just keep in mind, just enough to get your hand underneath.
Excellent. So what's interesting is that this elbow cup, I got so committed to it that after time what started happening is
You
that
show more move than that?
I want to show one more. You got to show one. I need to show one. You don't need your belt. You can lay down.
It looks better.
We're gonna take the other belt. Why do you take both? Where's yours? Oh, you want to do the whole thing? Got it. You don't. Okay. Start getting some questions ready.
Now that we're going to start answering questions after Henry shows his next detail.
What's the
In
first
case
question?
the question has to do with the gi.
I'm not going to right here. Side mount skate using the lapel.
Using the lapel.
Someone asked about the lapel. They knew it. They're reminding us that we're not
Brandon
wearing our gi.
Astle.
Asking what does he mean by using the lapel?
What's a good skate from bottom side using the lapel?
Using the gi.
Using the person's
You know, some people do that. They stack
Stiff
the
arm.
far one. You know, when they really stack it, push it out.
No, I
do
don't
the
do
other
that.
one.
I do that. Yes, I do.
Listen.
These are 15 seconds, I guess. We gotta be quick on this or what?
No. We're gonna do.
My move?
You have to move first.
Yeah.
What were you going to show?
Okay. I'm gonna be on top of you. So the natural evolution for me is I got to here, and where this whole thing comes to an end that you don't show in this move is when you do the skydive and you get the underhook, but for your life, you can't get the person on their side. You can't. They're too strong, or you get them here, they're too resistant to pull back down. So that's where you end up back in the same situation where you have an underhook, but you don't have the actual pull across on the submission. That's where you want to go into isolation, either head down or hand up. Start to bug the person's neck, sprawling my hips, get your knee inside right here and start isolating limbs away from their body right here. The more separation between hands, the better. And then once it's isolated, we switch. So my other shin is actually holding his bicep there, and I trap his head right here, and we just hang out right here. He's gonna buck, he's gonna twist, we're gonna hold, we're gonna ride a little bit, you're gonna bug his neck a little more to make him buck a little more, do certain things, get him to commit. And then after he exhausts there, then We can pull this arm up right here, frame the neck, step over the head, switch, boom, Kimura right here. So switching back. My favorite Kimura setup came as a result of having trouble with the elbow cup armbar that Hidon showed. After so many years of using it on so many people, heavy elbow, I can't pull it across, too strong. So right away, switch to this, hand behind the head, start bugging the person's neck, get them to respond. As they do, push it down, bring your shin inside their bicep. So now, I got my north shin on Hidon's bicep. Once I'm there, stabilize, and switch my windshield wiper. Go back. Look, I'm gonna slide my toes to his wrist, and then right away I switch, and I fill the gap. In order to do that, my knees have to be spread. If my knees are too close, I can't get this leg over, look. So instead, I gotta make sure this knee is low to the hip, so that when I slide to the wrist, this one has space to get in and actually hook onto his bicep. I wanna keep my ankle as close to his shoulder, my shin is parallel to his ribs as possible. Once you're in here, trapping his head. If you don't trap the head, you're gonna do a big leg whip, they're gonna pull their head away and rip their arm out. Do it again, look, boom, right here. You just kinda trap the head, so you can't run away. Head low, everything tight. All the while, never let this hand come in front of my face, bring it in. Framing the neck is gonna reset the whole thing, so keep this out of the party. And then, from here, when you're ready, he settles down, starts to frame the face, look, step over his head, posting your foot up here 45 degrees. Now use both hands to pick him up on his shoulder. Pull your shoulder down now. I have too much base right here. This is too strong. You're not going back no matter what. I stay here momentarily, rotate a little. And then when I feel ready, I'm going to switch hands. Now, normally when you switch hands on a Kimura, you go underneath the existing arm and then you hand it off and you go. The problem is pull your elbow down. It's so tight that I can't even get in. So what I do is I do an outside switch. I flare the wrist and then I come out and then I tuck it here. So normally we try to go in here. It's not going to work. Instead, do a little pickup here, look at that outside switch right there, and I use my wrist to flare, holding his hand in place, and I do a quick handoff. Boom.
So this elbow right here is still controlling my arm from going
yes,
around.
so I went from here to here, and then I'm still holding it, and then I did a handoff, and I do Kimura, and then right away, put it behind his back, because if you don't, he's going to grab his belt, and if he grabs his belt, then you got to do a full rip, and then you got to tuck it behind the back, and then twist and go. And if he does grab the belt, holding it tight, you got to step to the belt the way Hidon taught you. Turn your hips and sit down. Bring your leg over, and now we're sitting here. And then if he holds the belt real tight, right there, keep the belt. And you can't break this grip, rotate 90 or 180. Sorry. Last detail right here. You land right here. Look, you're trying to pull this back, and you can't. They're just too strong. Maybe you're trying to work my feet over here. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to slide this wrist to his wrist. Slide my hand to his knuckles. And then double wrist grab right there. So I slide down and down. Now, his elbow's going to be nice and high, trying to defend against this. I'm going to do double, use my chin, break his wrist, here. And now I go double, pressure. He's not going to tap, he's going to try to slip his hand up. Anyways, there's a little Kimura branch, my favorite Kimura setup, off of his favorite elbow cup armbar.
So I have a question. From the first moment where you pin my arm and you bring your north knee through, how much time from that north knee coming through to the point where you step over the head?
Meaning the switch of the south knee?
No.
Yeah. The windshield wiper has to switch.
I know, but how much time?
North to south knee, between the switches.
No, I'm saying the north knee comes through. That's the beginning.
I see.
And then the end is when you pull my elbow.
So I get here, boom, I see.
How much time? Is it like
Good
4
question.
seconds?
No,
Or
40.
like 18?
No, more, 30 plus.
So this is the part, because a move like this, when you see this, you think, okay,
Step one, step
north
two.
knee through, windshield wiper, frame, step over. That's how you see the move being done.
Wrong.
No.
Not accurate.
Now, most of the time that we teach moves, we teach them in 30, 40 seconds, but we want you to do them in 3 or 4 seconds. This is the opposite. This is being taught to you in 30, 40 seconds, and it actually is. You were saying, bug the neck, do this, do that, because he's actually spending time there. And why is that? Why not go from knee to boom, 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 boom?
Well, that's a great point.
Because when people get their arms pinned to the ground like this,
Well, speak more generally.
Just
when any
when
progress is made against you, whenever any progress is made against you, you're going to contest that progress.
when something gets pinned against its will, both arms, it's not just progress. You're making more than progress. You're nailing me to the ground.
Yeah, it's human violation.
It's not even, this is like against everything to be pinned like this. So there's going to be so much resistance on my part that for you to just think you're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4 and just catch it.
Well, he's going to go wild, and the question is, do I want him to go wild
While you have amazing base.
While I have amazing base and I can stay in control, while I'm perpendicular, or do I want him to go wild when I'm parallel and much more rollable?
It's the same reason why you don't want to mount right away from side mount. You want to stay there and fry him until he's exhausted, and then once they've depleted all their energy and spirit, then you mount.
And this is what allows you to do this on people who have more experience. Because you could be a purple belt out there, a blue belt with 3, 4 stripes, and catch this on some newer people, and you go through it very quickly.
Yes.
And you get and then before you know it, you get a brown belt 3, 4, 5 years from now, and now you're confused as to how the move ever works for you anymore. Because now who you're rolling with is a different level of people, different breed. So as you advance, like what are the moves that you catch me in the most, or I catch you the most? It's not moves that require 17 steps. It's very basic, very slow, control-focused techniques. And this can be one if you take the approach that we just mentioned of 40 seconds of control from start to finish.
This is so true that you need to deplete them before you make advancements. That let's say you land a crucifix and they don't go crazy.
You need to make them go crazy.
Yes. Do you understand? You will not advance until you probe them to force a violent, aggressive,
overreaction.
Overreaction.
Burn a little energy.
I need him to go.
Yeah.
So the stuff that I'll do, let's go back. The stuff that I'll do when I land here, let's say I'm going keto and someone's really good and I do this, and I get to here maybe, right? I do this pretty quick, by the way, real quick. The one part that is kind of quick is from north shin, windshield wiper, south shin.
And the reason why is because you have more control.
I have more base.
Yes.
Control, yeah. And there's less chance that you kick me to quarter guard. Grab my ankle. Right. Quarter guard means you'll twist me over. Okay? So from here, my north shin, I switch my south shin. So now we're here. And let's say he's not trying to get out right now.
Which would make sense that he's not trying to get out because he wasn't trying to get out too much earlier. They have it in them to keep their elbow heavy to stay in one place.
So now that I'm here, do you guys understand? If I step over his head and he's chill, once I get here and I do this, he might go boom, something crazy might happen. And I've had it happen. When we're talking about 250, 300-pound opponents, where when I step over the head, if they have anything left, I lose the kimura because they go so crazy and they roll their knees and it's not even technical, it's just wild.
Are you saying you beat them before you beat them?
Well, that's my attempt. Yeah, so if I am here on Big Boy and I go 1, I go 2, and I'm here, like I can't afford for his craziness to be utilized during the parallel spines. Right? This is parallel spines from here. Our spines are in the same plane. I need his craziness to be exploited during perpendicular spines while our bodies are still in perpendicular. So when I'm here and I do this, stuff that I'll do stuff like this, like,
which means nothing. This stuff means nothing. You can stop.
I mean I'll do stuff like that. I'll do stuff like this.
Now, real quick, there's different levels of stuff. Because most
Look, it's coming through.
and this could be bad for me.
I'll do anything because he has no hands. Touch your nose, you know.
So I can't pick my nose.
Reach with this hand.
Can't.
Reach with the other hand.
So here's how this works. So do you see the little circles you're doing with your hand around my head? Freeze. Hold on. I want to know how many people react to that.
Everyone.
Everybody reacts
To nothing.
to nothing.
So I barely have to do other
I
things.
know. Sometimes though they don't react to that because they understand that you're just playing games.
Yes.
And then you grab the throat, you feed the lapel into the neck. So, and again, for all of you, don't get out there and trap someone's arm and go right to feeding the lapel under the neck.
You don't need it.
Or grabbing the throat.
You don't need that much.
No, do the little run circles around their head and notice how people give so much, people are just waiting to overreact. Remember, when they have no arms and you just go like this.
Yeah.
Like, where is he going?
Yeah,
I don't know, but I don't want to stay here to find
I
out.
want to find out.
And then they have to bump and twist and
And
turn,
this is-
and then they burn.
On Mondays or Thursdays when we're doing fight sim, gloves, street sparring,
That's not fair.
I love it because I'll trap them like that and then look at this. It's so crazy because I need them to go crazy.
Want me to do this one?
No. Why don't you do that? I'm just showing you how I don't even have to hit you though. It's so beautiful. I'll land like this. I'll do the windshield wiper, and we're here, and I have glove on, right? And I don't even need to choke you because it's punching day, so I'm allowed to punch you, right? But I don't even do that. I go like this. Boom. Boom. And what does he start doing? Turn your side. Get out. Go. Get out. He starts to go. I go like this. Hit his shoulder. I touch his shoulder. Look.
And we're gonna say, all right. Oh. And they give up.
And then I go like this. Boom. Isn't it crazy, you guys? So we must force. Now this is a much bigger than this crucifix position, right?
This principle?
Yeah, this principle
Yeah, they got it.
of provoked depletion is so major. Before you actually go for the kill, right? This is David and Goliath. This is poke, prod, so that they overreact and they exhaust. and then you go for the actual kill. When you know you have the energy, they don't. They've depleted, and you're ready to rock and roll. Questions? Let's get a question. No, there's some more good stuff in. I have a lot of more other stuff we can show too. Do you have some questions, or you just want the good stuff?
No, they want some questions. Come on.
Okay.
So Michael Tomlinson and Kyle Hosford, they had similar questions. Besides being patient, what is a good escape from under someone with a north-south control? Both the questions are
Mike and Tom, what's up, you guys? Homies.
And
Mike
one more thing.
not Mike and Kyle. Mike Thomason and Kyle. What's up, guys?
Yes, and Kyle is asking, what about the mindset? Do you want to defend from the north-south, or do you want to escape?
Great question. Let's do it. You go first.
There's two north-south. There's your arms over my arms.
So north-south, for those who don't know, welcome to the seminar, you guys. Good to see you.
Side control.
Over under, modified side mount, then you walk here to where
You're basically more than perpendicular. You're slightly higher than perpendicular, if not fully vertical north-south position here.
boom. The hand configurations can vary. I can have one over, one under his arm like this. I can have double over, when my elbows are both in his armpits, you know, kind of hanging out.
Which is exactly what the control position, right?
This is very much control. This is more, I'm getting ready to attack, yes.
Correct. And what's more common?
I'm laying here more often.
Not you.
Yeah, I would say coming north, I would say, yeah.
I feel like most people want to hold you.
Yeah, they want to lock you down.
Yes.
This is where they settle in and park the car right here in your face.
I open the gi, I feed the knee, and now with knee pressure, not extending my leg, but doing this, I push this as my elbow traps his arm, and then I kind of knock him over the top.
Shoot.
That's something that always showed us when we were kids. Next question.
Okay, let me show one too then.
Okay.
So there's another good one here with north-south, same parts to the car position. If you have to get out, right, where you wedge both hips with both hands, so I'm kind of grabbing, me to the side. So I'm kind of grabbing the belt near the belt area, but really just placing my palms, gi or no gi. You're just kind of wedging your hips with both hands. And I want to do a backdoor escape where I slide down as much as possible. Boom. And he's going to keep trying to hold my belt. And then from here, my feet can come in. Boom. Once they do, my head comes out.
And you can come right up and take the person's back. That's a little acrobatic going in. If that
No,
doesn't work,
that was it. 15 seconds.
it's a different move.
I don't think we're doing this in 15 seconds right now.
Yeah, we
have
are.
some questions, and then later we're going to ask them to bombard because we don't have 15 seconds content. Unless you want to do it right now, then you ask them. You see what I'm saying?
I see. Any technique can be 15 questions. Anything can be 15 seconds.
Point is, that's good. Let's go. Bring more questions. Yeah, we'll show another variation, different move. That's okay.
No, I have to get another question to show that move. You already showed one.
What about the mindset? Do you want to defend or do you want to escape?
The answer is, do you want to defend, stay, or you want to remove yourself from bottom of north-south? Because north-south is something that's more common in the world of grappling, I think defending and staying is absolutely okay. Now, in a street fight, if somebody runs north-south, you're a little bit in danger of them kneeing you in the head potentially, or striking down. So that doesn't mean that when they knee or when they strike, you don't have a window to escape. So my vote is to stay and just defend.
My
There's
vote,
nowhere to go.
if they're in control mode, you're in defend and stay safe and just neutralize. If they're in attack mode, they're going to give you the window to escape. So if you're having trouble getting out, so you're trying to get out during their control mode.
Is that for north-south or everywhere?
Everywhere. North-south is one of the worst though.
Joshua, Stonia, and Robert are asking the same thing. How do I keep someone that's too big on the bottom of my side mount? And how do I prevent from being smashed when my opponent's too big?
Yes. I'll do the control one, you do the escape one. So for the control, it's very simple. You have to understand interlocking limbs. Anytime your opponent is able to get two body parts into one quadrant, they're going to get up. If you both your hands, there you go, guard. But really getting up is more like, watch, bring both hands that way. Now he's going to go ahead and get up. Go ahead and get up. It's going to be tough. He's going to get up to his knees. Or bring his hand under that armpit and turn your knees and get up. It's going to be hard. He's going to get up. So once you understand that,
So the quadrants are here. This
Yes,
here
quadrant
and
is
here.
my body, correct. So if he don't goes over here, I gotta come here. Go to your knees towards me. You can't, because our shoulders are interlocked right here. If he tries to go towards you guys, go that way. I gotta lock him here so that his armpit can't cross the center line, right? If he tries to go to his knees towards me, come on in, I can split his legs, look, so that his legs cannot come in and go to his knees and get up. So I split his legs with my hand right here, look, go to your knees, come on in. Look, I'm over the head, I can neutralize right there. Bring your hands across, look, neutralize. If you ever lose this battle, and he does get through, come on through, and then you gotta start to control limbs, and really to keep them down and keep them on their back. So interlocking limbs, understanding how the body interlocks, don't just get one fixed position, modify, adapt, keep the back on the ground.
And not getting smashed in the bottom of side control. Most people that I've asked this question have felt like they couldn't breathe. They have this feeling of like, you know, this, you just, oh, they're on my diaphragm, it's too much. And I believe that most of us, we feel that more because we have made up our minds that we need to escape. And we try to escape for 10, 20, 30 seconds and you fail, mentally you're broken. So then, not only is your mind broken, but now you're a little bit tired because you burned so much, and then you end up almost feeling like you're being crushed. So the answer to that is to stop trying to escape the bottom of side mount, at least for the first 30 seconds on every person who side mounts you, and almost welcome the weight.
Next, Brandon Portillo. How do you keep knee on belly when they're pushing your knee from their body, off their body?
Knee on belly.
When they're pushing the knee off the body. Well, if someone historically is pushing the knee, I'm gonna underhook them.
Correct.
Pushing the knee.
Or they might push with their elbow. A lot of energy is given here.
Yes.
And the answer is more pressure. Holding my pants potentially, my pants.
Yeah, pants is one thing. If you pick up knee on belly purely as your control, they're always gonna grab my ankle, feed it to quarter guard, go. They're always gonna do stuff to mess you up. The best way to keep control of knee on belly is to give him something else to worry about, right? So when I get up here,
That's the answer.
I go right here, boom. Go, push my knee. There's nothing to push because he's gotta do, now I got my underhook and I'm already coming in and I'm going. So the best defense is a good offense in this situation, right? Knee on belly is a precarious balance position and they can really mess you up if you think about just staying in a fixed position. Anybody who has a fixed knee on belly, someone can work something to get you out. Are you putting pressure and making them worry enough about their own defense that now they're being shot at so they can't pop their head up and shoot back?
So Emiliano, Ben, and one more person where he's asking north-south skate when they have a kimura on you.
Kimura north south. So then you kind of have that little elbow hug here. So this presumes that they kind of do the walk around that he don't get on the dummy here. We get to here. Maybe I start to get this grip right here. Boom. Right? So I'm starting to get this grip situation set up right here. There's that one is very good that we learned as kids. So anytime they have an elbow scoop and they haven't fully perpendiculated yet to the sides, this is perpendicular here. I'm ready to step over the head. I'm going to bring this knee in, step over, sit down, and go to work. But before I've done that,
Even like
As
the
there's-
standard kimura, hold my wrist. The standard kimura you hold, we can use our
use the
knee.
knee.
And then if you get the kimura, you walk around.
So I get the, even if I get the collar right here, look, I start to walk around, I get to here, his knee's already there scooping it. Even if I have the actual kimura grip and I'm doing this, the knee actually does it. If that doesn't work, look,
Look. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, you can use your other hand to straighten your arms and just freaking push it into me and straighten your arm and break the grip as you turn in.
Well, especially if you turn more.
Yes.
From here. Now we're here, and who's holding this double wrist grab. He's got his chest pressure against me. I need to use my feet, keep more pressure. If I just turn towards him, his body's too much. But if I use my feet and I raise my hips, I get my forearm under my own wrist. And now using my feet, my hips swing out towards the camera, and I pull my elbow down. Boom, this way. It kind of wrist locks.
Yeah, because the kimura must be bent. The kimura must be a bent. Straighten your arm fully. It doesn't work with straight. So by Hito framing his own hand,
Bumping, framing.
now straightening his arms while he turns in me is so annoying because it breaks my wrist backwards and he can turn his elbow to the mat. That's probably the gold nugget for you guys. Emiliano, what's up?
James Basher is asking, what is a good knee to stomach skate?
Good question. Your favorite Nano Summer skate? Quick one. Show him that fancy one that you like over there on the outside.
It's not
This
that
one.
fancy.
Do it.
Get your knee off the ground. So number one is being here 10, 20 seconds. I need you to know that you can't tap me.
Right.
Which doesn't require too much more than me just watching you. And in the middle of all this, I swipe, boom, your arm. Now pull your arm out of it.
Can't.
Because I'm using my hand, I'm pulling it into my thigh. And now as I wedge your ribs or your thigh, I move my hips this way.
Oh, see, the hip detail I didn't know, James. That's a good one. That's really good. I don't want to teach my own because that one was better.
Ask for more questions.
Laying it back right here. We need more questions from you guys.
Let's go, guys. We got
It's hard to
50
ask
seconds.
questions though while they're learning, they're absorbing. So thumb in the collar, knee on belly, side mount. Knee on belly is an extension of side mount. So thumb in the collar, pressure on the neck, hand blocking his thigh, hip area, and holding him close. Knee off the ground. See, what do you feel right now? Freeze, go back. You see, you just turned.
I had to.
Why did you turn?
Neck annoying, pulling my hip. You were subliminally telling me to turn.
I'm subliminally telling him to turn. I'm telling him I want to keep you here. And I know right now, don't move. How much pressure do you feel now?
0.
What are you looking at?
You.
Me, which I don't want that. I want you looking that way. To make you look that way, I need you to hip out. So I pressure and pressure. When he hips out, go ahead. Freeze, nobody move. Who's watching this?
Nobody.
Nobody's watching this. And then this, you guys can see, goes boom to the collar. So just know that when you have me on belly, and it's just casual, his focus is here. When I pressure the neck, and I hold his thigh, giving the illusion that I don't want him to hip out. But when he hips out, I follow him with the knee on belly,
And I'm
and
pushing.
then my hand goes to the collar. Whether I finish from here or I drop to the ground is probably better.
Normally you do, I think, yeah.
Dropping to the ground is better.
Unless
If
you
you
roll
finish
over.
from here, your head is low, you're off balance. So drop, and then I squeeze right here in the side mark.
Beautiful.
Knee on belly is a great place to get someone to move and forget about their neck. Just don't show them too soon that you want their
Let me
neck.
show you my favorite finish off the exact same indicator where the person is responding by turning in on knee on belly. So this is really as of late. Look, so I'm here, I'll be bugging the same neck, I'll be doing the same thing. I'll do the little hip, I'll make him turn and push my hips and start getting away. Look, once he starts doing anything here, or a lot of times maybe I'll push my hip away to try to make space. Right away, push away, look at this. I did a knee switch here, boom. And now I got his wrist pinned with my hand, retract, switch my knees, and we end up in the exact same place. The only problem, I'm in the same crucifix. South shin on the bicep. The only problem is he on the other hand, because I never started with an underhook, it remains on the north side of my neck. This is a problem, it's a serious problem.
Hold on. It's a serious problem?
It's one of the worst.
Like a serious
It
problem
doesn't
in the
get any
world?
worse than this.
In jiu-jitsu problems.
Just kidding.
Life is really bad.
Nothing is serious, you guys. Nothing serious. Except for the fact that we can't go to class right now. Everything else is fine. Look. So here, it's straight from the north side of my neck. So I've trapped his arm. From here, how do I get to the south side? Keep your elbow a little bit heavy here. A north hand, let's rotate. His arm's already trapped on my shin. All I gotta do is get this hand to the other side of my neck and get my underhook.
I almost feel like if you just wait 4 seconds, they'll just move their arm.
They will, sometimes, yeah. If they don't, look, north hand goes into the frame, south hand, palm to palm, thumb full grip, and now I grab that and push down like I'm going for the Americana. Then I put my head in this hole, and there we go. And he always comes up.
That
and
was
does it.
so easy.
So north frame, look, north frame, I go here, put my arm over, here's the frame on the north. I go frame, elbow on the mat, gable grip. He wants to keep the frame, keep it on my neck here strong. Look, I just do this, I straighten both arms, boom. And once I straighten them, I don't try to underhook yet. I put my head down, now I let it go. It only has one place to go.
So you don't have
Comes
to,
up.
he'll lift it off the ground.
He'll lift it up. As soon as I let it go, it runs away.
Yeah, because you pinned it, right? The truth is, if you pin it,
He thinks Americana.
let's say you pick everything up. Pick everything up. Let's go. They're not gonna stay here.
Oh no.
So the point is, when you put your head down, and I feel like, like you lost control.
Yes.
So when I want to hug,
That's
now I'm
the
like,
illusion.
oh my gosh,
That's
why
the
did I
illusion.
hug?
That's the illusion.
I should have stayed where you put me.
You were safer down there. Even though the Americana was imminent right there.
You put me in the safest place.
And then you ran away from it. Into the
Because
trap.
you put me there, I didn't want to accept it.
So what's cool about the knee on belly, if you push my hip, you're done. It's gonna trap your arm. Every single time I pivot, I take one step to the shoulder, all my weight's on my hands, his body here, and I do a knee switch. Watch, I stand up and do like this. Boom. And I catch it. And then I lay on it, rotate that around.
You melt.
I melt fully on it. So I'm here, knee on belly, push my hip, I step to the shoulder, I get up my toes, I do the knee switch, and I go right here. Now bend your arm a little. What I do is I want to switch my shin on your bicep. So I slide this ankle out a little bit. I grab your wrist, hold it. Look, close. Shoot this leg out. Shoot this leg in. And now my hand goes to the hip. My knee goes to the head, and I'm in my position for my frame. From here, rotate. His hand's on my north side. Look, that's when I get ready to rock and roll. Swim from the north. Look, gable grips. Keep my elbow down, extend my hand away. Where's the hole? Right here. Let it go. Comes up. Always underhook. And then run some rounds right here. He's gonna defend, he's gonna bump, he's gonna go wild. Just ride the horse here, ride the bull. Look, boom. And then he chills. Frame the neck, step, double shoulder pickup, pull your elbow down. He's not gonna be able to. Right away, outside switch from the hand, flare the wrist, grips, tuck and go.
Ricardo wants to know how to finish the north-south choke, and at least 10 other people want to know how to defend it.
I'll show how to finish it, you show how to defend it.
North south show like that.
Lay down. Yeah. North south choke. It's easier to see no gi on this one actually if I do this. More common no gi, I say. How do you defend it? Lay down. Well, first when we get into it, you'll see exactly. You'll make it up on the spot how to defend it. You know how to defend it. There's no way. So the north-south choke. Boom. You come here. You come here. Right. Using your rib cage here to get their chin facing away a little bit. And then all we're looking for is the chance for this hand on the near side. If this head, if it doesn't eat, boom, we're coming under. Okay? So a lot of times you'll be here, his chin will be facing in. You'll come over and purposely get your ribs real low and do this. Boom.
Your rib kind of turn your chin towards me. Makes it very tough.
Can't look that way.
And then, when, again, if he tries to buck, twist, or turn into me, like boom, coming under, I lock. Now I start to back up, lock my hands together. Whether his arm is in or out, doesn't matter. I want to lay my ribs into it, sprawl head down, and then just drive towards him with my chest. So this elbow stays in the ground right here as an anchor point. And then my ribs drive towards, right? And the key is I can't be up on his chest right here with my hands locked. There's not enough side-to-side pressure. I need to do this. And now, I literally start to push up on my toes, walk towards Hidon, walk towards him, and literally think of my elbow here as the anchor. Nothing moves. The elbow stays still. Hands are locked, and then as I walk towards it, and there's a little flexion, a little tightness there.
It works great.
It works very good. So I'd say the number one defense to this for me personally is this battle of the chin right here. If their rib can get your chin to look up into the sky and to get inside positioning on your face right here, and it's so unassuming, right? We're just kind of grabbing, I just go here, and I just go like this, boom. Automatically here, Hidon's halfway in trouble. Now he's one shot away from being in a dire situation for sure.
Yeah, so maybe it has to do with me bringing my hand inside, bumping.
Yeah, there's gonna be no chin, rib chin, look at that, there's no way.
The problem is that when people start to turn this way, right, they get a little rack here. So you want your chin in, but you don't want to be too much on your side because you'll be wrapping the guillotine.
Yeah, this right here is a problem. If your chin is right trapped between my lat and my tricep, you're one step away right now. You're one step away. Tough right there, yeah. That's preemptive for sure.
So does it,
That neutralizes it, yeah.
the question is if I lift my head up, you're still going, right? Go ahead. You can still wrap it.
I think it's a battle here,
Not the
like
best,
that,
yeah.
straight your lat versus mine pulling in.
Yeah, a little bit of grabbing, go back again. Yeah, a little bit of holding this, but I wouldn't want to stay here because this is requiring a little bit of energy from me. So I want to turn face. I'm going to square back up with you. Actually, stay right there where you are, north, south, more. Maybe I want to go here and take away the angle. You see that?
Yeah.
Because obviously he's looking for a more obtuse angle. But if my arm is here, if I grab your head, the move
Done, no, it's done, it's done.
You're creating perpendicularity there.
Now the question is when I do that, right, if I go here, what are you going to do? You're going to bring your arm over. You see that? Now he's attacking my arm is isolated. But again,
When your chin gets beat like that, it's worth giving up this underhook.
correct.
Right? It's the better of two evils. Next question.
What do you do when your opponent is really mean and use the knee on your stomach and it drives the knee into your solar plexus and pull both of your collars up?
When a
Just to hurt you.
When a person places knee on belly, but not knee on belly, knee on solar plexus, knee on sternum,
For
knee
the
on
submission.
rib.
Going for the submission.
They're trying to hurt you. They're trying to make you jump and squeal and overreact. And when someone does that to me from knee on belly, you can, right? When I can feel like you're trying to hurt me. Okay, 99.9, stop. What are you doing?
Trying to tap you out.
Don't do that. Okay? That hurts. Let's go. You understand? 99% of the time, the person that is doing that, let's say that happened. 99% of the time, the person that has me on stomach on you is your friend. So when someone's driving their knee into my ribs to hurt me, I just look at them and I say, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that? Now, in a competition realm, that's not going to be stopped. It's
Right.
part of the game. So for the 1% of you that play in that world, then you have to Then you have to play with different escapes of taking the knee off the ribs and taking away the angles, and there's knee on belly escapes. But I would avoid people who have that type of energy towards knee on stomach.
Yeah. And asking them nicely to say, hey bro, no thanks. On we go. Now, listen, don't get it twisted. If you don't put knee on belly on me right now with both collars and goes, I'm gonna get out if I have to get out. But here's the problem. Because it's a pure control position, with a little knife on the edge, the fact that it's pure control position means that if you don't wait patiently and wait for them to open up and make it, means you're gonna burn excessive energy to get out. There's no easy way. The same as north-south. When they park the car and just hold, if you tell yourself, I'm gonna get out right now, the price to play that game is excessive energy use, bursts of energy in short time to get out. Now, that's not the most efficient mindset. The most efficient is north-south, park the car, you chill. When they open, because they're going for the attack, because you're so patient and they think that you don't mind being there,
that's when they're gonna switch, go for the submission, and you make your escape. So the price to escape when it's pure control focus is energy.
It is what it is. Moving the person's knee that is high on their sternum to the stomach.
That can help, yeah.
That is okay. Sometimes it just happened to end up a little high.
Yeah.
So you just gotta
Sometimes they
protect
put it there. Show
But
how you push it down. Yeah, good point. Because the higher the knee on belly, the more painful. It goes into the bone.
You just said if he does this to me, if he does this to me, and I want to get out, I'm gonna get out. But I would never do this to you.
That's true.
Where I put it on
I
your
don't say
ribs.
you would. I'm just saying if you did. I would fight to get out. I would be able to get out.
No, you would be able to.
I
yes.
know. I know. So would you.
No, I
They
understand.
should know that we would go. We would waste the energy to get out. If we had to. I'm just saying. We can't.
If I did it to you, you don't have to get out. That's the point. Because it's me.
Because you wouldn't do it.
No, because you don't have to get out. Because it's me.
No, but this hurts.
But when do you attack?
God.
When do you ever have to
There
get
you
out?
go.
It's
You
knee
know,
on
stern
sternum.
is this. If your stern is getting hurt, you guys tap out.
Just stop. Don't do that to me.
Yeah.
Now, if you want to discuss it at a slower intensity, we can talk about things like put your knee here lightly, here, and I can go and
Yeah.
move it to my stomach. At least
Way.
now, okay.
Now I can breathe. His sternum and his shoulder plexus are not.
It's the same thing when people do stuff like this. Like if you have me in a triangle, this is off the position, but you lock the triangle, I'm defending it. And then I put my knee in your neck to defend the triangle. Like when you do stuff like that, you're just changing the whole energy of the roll. And maybe, like I said, 1% less competition. I don't know, even in a street fight, you don't see knees in sternums, and you don't see knees in faces defending triangles. So just be aware of what you're doing and why you're doing it. Because the goal is not to hurt your partner, but to outsmart them and confuse them.
There you go. So you do a better service to jiu-jitsu by telling your partner who's driving their knee into your sternum and say, hey bro, I tap, you're good, let's keep going. And then they go, wow, he didn't really like that much. Maybe I won't do that with my next training partner. Exactly.
And the problem is that people respond with stuff like, people who get tapped and move like that, they might say something like, yeah, that was cheap, or that isn't a move.
Right.
And the person who does it gets offended by that and says, well, you shouldn't have tapped then. And then it becomes like this weird conversation, this ego conversation versus, hey, when your knee is in my rib, it hurts a lot. I don't want to move and fight from there because it could potentially hurt my rib.
Yes.
It could injure me. So it's not worth it. It's
Yes.
uncomfortable.
Versus
So-
saying that wasn't a real submission.
correct. So it is a real submission. It's me putting my elbow in the side of your head,
Right.
and from the side mount, if you tap, that was a real submission.
Yeah, I really submitted.
You tapped. But it's not the type of submission that we're choosing to play with. Now, doesn't mean that positions, like in a street fight, someone could have you in a headlock in a street fight and be driving their shoulder in your face or squeezing you in a way in a street fight that is very painful. And we need to understand how to move, create different angles and save ourselves so we don't, because we can't tap out to the person that we're fighting for our lives with
To a
in
headlock,
the
yeah.
street, in the
Yeah.
headlock. But because we know knee on belly, knee on sternum is not going to happen in the street fight, we can tap out. But just be aware that there are some in the scramble, headlocks, and side control, and pressure on side control. You can tap to pressure on side control. But be aware that when you tap to pressure on side control, you could very easily be in a fight, and you're tired under somebody, and you have the feeling that you can't breathe, and now you're tapping out in the street fight because you can't breathe. No. So what does that mean? You spend more time bottom side control feeling crushed, but you don't spend more time bottom knee on belly feeling crushed.
Get comfortable in worst case scenarios, so worst case scenarios cease to exist.
Especially the worst case scenario that makes sense.
Richard Turner is asking, what do you do if the person on top or underneath the side control acts as a weapon like a knife in a self-defense situation?
Richard Turner. Get a knife right there in the kitchen, please. Or Hino's house. Go. Knife. Introduction of a knife from side mount situations. Very good question. We usually cover it in GST. This is also covered in BBS 3 or 4 on Gracie University. Yeah, perfect.
You wanted a real knife.
Yeah, we get
I
that.
got one right there where I left it out.
Look, so somebody introduces the knife. So let's say you're here, it's in your belt or your pocket over there. I'm side mounted on Hino. You're on top, whatever, yeah. Mount or side mount. Here, boom, at some point, right, we're here controlling the fight. He reaches down in his pocket, pulls out a weapon, and starts cutting you right there. Boom, boom, boom. Number one thing is to pin the limb away from the body.
Oh, you guys already know this.
We just did this. But we're not gonna stay here. Look, we're gonna keep this, transition, switch sides, and hold here. This is our final destination here. This is where we want to end up. Every time a knife is introduced from the bottom of the grapple, this is where we want to end up. You may try to reach for it, hand it off. You don't want to let him. Look. So we hug the neck, and we go here. Keep reaching. Try to hand it off. Try to hand it off. Can't. Can't. Don't drop it. Don't put a hole in our mat either. Look, so now we're here. Controlling, controlling, controlling. And then at this point, I want to be able to get this hand back in the fight. Since he showed me he's a reacher, I'm going to take this inside arm, forearm frame, swim my knee inside. Go back here to the wrist. And now I switch my windshield wiper the same way we talked about before. Try to get his hand out a little, bucket and twist. Just hold it. Right here, some elbow strikes. Boom, boom, boom. Drop the knife. You're talking to him, you're holding this, and you're pinning. Nice pin on the inside wrist right here. If you need two hands, you got him. If you want to kind of probe him a little, elbow strikes, boom.
Elbow strikes.
If he doesn't drop the weapon, keep it tighter. Can you imagine? Keep it, don't drop the weapon. Boom, boom, boom. Or knee strikes. Boom. And he doesn't drop it, we're going to go over the top. Look, hook the wrist. Hold it. He's going to open his fingers. When he does, we're going to come in and we're going to roll it out of his grip. 100% cavalier wrist lock. And we get rid of it. This is not only true from side mount, it's true if he pulls it out of his pocket from the bottom of the mount. He reaches down, pulls it out right away. 2-on-1, dismount. Boom. Why dismount? Because if you commit both hands to this far away and you stay mounted, you're very bench pressable. So you need to offset the fact that you're off balance to this side. You need to offset that by throwing your legs to the opposite side. And now we end up with his arm fully extended. This is when we control, control, control. Cavalier wrist lock. Or get rid of this and go here. Okay? So you'll learn that in the master cycle. Richard was his name, right? Richard, we'll learn that in the master cycle. Thank you for the question.
Bottom side mount.
All this elbow striking and knee striking.
Oh yeah. So if you're on the bottom and the person brings out the knife.
When you're on top though, all that knee striking
Yes.
and elbow striking, that's secondary.
Cautious.
Number one is keep the knife
2-on-1.
away from you, 2-on-1. Don't pin it for 1 second and start elbow striking.
No,
because
no.
confirm that you have good control of that arm first.
There you go. So if I'm on the bottom of the fight here, and he don't reach back and grabs it out of his pocket and there's a knife, right away, oh, take it, dang it. Okay, right away, I bring my knees inside, boom. All you want in your life is stage 1.5, boom. When you're on the bottom of a fight and a weapon is introduced for your life, 1.5 is your best friend, okay? Shin inside, hold the wrist, head control. This is very important for posture prevention. And now, he tries to sit up and pull the knife away, I got him right here. And then keep it. Now you would think, oh, let's go for a triangle. Bad idea. Because now the stabbing arm is even more restricted or more freely mobile than the arm that's in the triangle. Not a good idea. So instead, from this tight 1.5, move a little, I keep him here, I stay. When he calms down, look, I straighten my leg, and I bend the arm, and we go here. Oh, Kimura is actually your best friend right there. Let's go back. So from here, anytime the knife comes in, it's going to be spacious, right? It's going to be here, so you're getting stabbed. You bring your hips out, shoot those knees in front of those biceps, and then just peel out from there and get into stage 2 initially. This is
You're
your
not
first.
trying to control the wrist or the knife. You're controlling the bicep.
Yeah.
High. You start high and you slide low.
Yeah, because imagine if you were blind, right? And I had to identify where the knife was, and I'm trying to find the knife in midair. No, you go like this, and then you go like this. That's how you find it. And the fascinating part is you're not blind, right? You're sighted potentially.
But you are blind.
But you're in a real street fight, you are blind. So you have to have systems that can see for you,
Oh my God.
right? Versus relying on something as whimsical as just sight and color reflections off the earth.
Is that your first time saying that?
Yes.
Systems that can see for you.
Look, so I get inside and I peel out, so no matter what, I'm tight. So I stay here, I shoot this leg through first. From there, I get my 1.5, and then from 1.5, we slide to the wrist and control. Aim, control high, slide low when the time is right. When it comes time for the Kimura, make sure your shin is not too deep. See how it's too restricted? I want it right by my knee, and I'm pulling this and stretching it. Almost like I'm going to go for a triangle, but I don't. Instead, I straighten my leg. This is a GST, law enforcement technique. I straighten my leg, and then I blast the knee north, and I shove the hand south. But the detail you're going to mess up is you're not going to get the head out of the center. You're going to do this, and now you're going to go, man, it's hard to get in the Kimura. So right when I'm here, I straighten my leg, I blast it, and I flick his head, so it ends up in my armpit. So I'm over it, and now with his knee breaking his arm this way, I can remove my knee, go inside, get my double monkey grips. Keep the wrist bent, use his hip as a pivoting point, use his hip to pivot, turn, and then from here, extend with both legs and twist the arm. I'm going to tell him to drop the weapon. He'll drop it. You get a hold of it. Boom! Boom! And we're out of there. Okay? So, top of the fight, double wrist pin, cross body positioning. Bottom of the fight, stage 2 for life. Bring your shin inside. Oh, but what if he's mounted?
15 seconds, time.
What if he's mounted?
Do it.
So you're here, mounted, someone pulls out a knife and they're mounted. What if I try to do trap and roll? Oh my gosh. What if I try to do punch block variation, stabbing my neck? What if I try to block my face? I'm gonna get cut up. Oh my gosh, somebody help me. Fight's already over and I'm dead. Any advice for those of you who have not done VBS 4?
I'll do this side.
Yeah, whatever you want me to, that's where I'm gonna go. So here's the deal. If he don't have it in his pocket, he pulls out a knife. I don't care about the knife. I care about his base.
Oh my gosh.
And I go to stage 2. Go again. So hip thrust, mounted escape. I think it's VBS 2.5. So we're here. He pulls out the knife. Right away, I go 2 on the hips and I go thrust. He has to balance. Try not to.
No,
You'll fall on your face. So he has to post out the hand that has the knife in it, because that's the direction I thrusted, and I lock my hand straight. From here, my hips go straight out, my shins come right inside, and I go right to stage 2. He attacks, I shoot my leg in, pull, 1.5, slide this out, keep the nice tight rope, and everything's good. Next question. That was a little longer than 15 seconds, but it's a good question.
Pedro Garcia and Brandes Asso, they're asking Hiro to show the toe hold from the side mount.
That one, the tack, the quick slap. Yeah, look at what he done brought. I say grab a knife.
Did you say a real knife?
I mean, it's a real knife. Should we do it again?
No.
Fine. Let's go. The best toe hold in the world, yeah. I'll do this anyway here.
So it's very, this is against people who are very, very defensive. Nothing happening up here. I kind of shift to this position. I sit on my hip. And now, as my foot steps, my hand slaps and my shoulder knocks. When my shoulder knocks, look at his foot. It's exposed for the cupping. So foot slap, shoulder knock, and look at my arm and my boom, and I go here. So all 4 things are happening at once. My hand grabbing, my shoulder hitting, my leg stepping, and my arm shooting in. Here, I'm on my hip, I sit down. Look how my armpit's over his elbow. If it's like this, wrap my neck right here. Go back, I don't want that, go again. But here though, it gives the illusion that I'm on the side mount, which I am on the side mount, but I'm about to jump inside your legs to some degree. So leg and arm, boom.
Oh my gosh.
And if you notice, my hand, it slaps here. But when my shoulder does this, my hand then scoops. I'm already anticipating him wanting to extend his leg. But because my hand is in position, when he extends it, I catch it in the web of my hand, and then double, leg, and now I pull the toes in as I activate my wrist.
This is ridiculous, you guys. And I used to never understand this one. I used to never have the leverage to break it. And then I finally understood how he's squeezing is very unorthodox. It's not a normal toe hold pressure. It's not a fully folding pressure. There's a lot of pulling aspect. Can we try this one time? Just make sure I'm not tripping.
You're adding my 15 seconds?
No, this is my 15 seconds. I'm trying to make sure that I'm not, I want to make sure I got this move right because it's so good and I forgot about it. So he's super tight up top. We get to here, we turn, right? And also, one other thing he does very well that he didn't really explain too much is how his whole body goes forward because he pushes off the ground and with his bottom foot. So he like fully commits and then he grabs right here. And then when I was triangle your leg right here, and there's very little for me to do in terms of I can't grab his neck, I can't throw him, but how's the squeeze now? Anyways, rotate a little, bro, to them. Yeah, rotate your feet. So what I used to think, you guys, is the squeeze was all forearms. Like you just do this little fold and you got it, but it's not. It's a forearm, then you take his foot and literally pull it to his pelvis. I'm literally doing this. That was the game changer. Because normal toe holds don't do this. Normal toe holds do this. But normal toe holds, the knee is much more trapped. So as a result, this works. But when the knee is completely mobile, now it has full mobility, this is not enough, just my wrist. So that's when I realized he's actually pulling the entire unit with his lat. If you don't incorporate that detail, it's not going to hurt their foot. I have tried for years, and he finally explained it in one seminar. Years. I was like, oh, the thing is told, he catches everybody in it. And then finally, I'm like, okay.
Just get in the position and give yourself permission to try all different ways of squeezing, and you'll figure it out in minutes.
Oh, so
It'll take you years. He's exaggerating. He's entertaining you.
Great question.
All right. Kyle from Canada, he asked twice already. And
Kyle.
He really wants it.
and he said like this, I'm going to ask again because I'm really interested to know. In a street survival situation, if you see their friends coming and you must get up now, what is the one that you would do?
Bottom side mount. Someone's friends are coming, and
You have to
get off the back
emergency
now.
escape. Emergency escape.
Start biting them.
Ugh. Groin strikes. Eye gouge.
Well, the thing is this. This is for me, it's to start framing and bumping and
Here's the
high
deal.
low.
Here's the deal, Kyle. Kyle, sit down, bro. Listen up. Listen. Kyle. We know Kyle. Kyle, here's the deal. If you have to get out right now, all that means is that you have to exploit the available leak right now. It doesn't mean you have one move that's your go-to, because that's what you're asking for. You want that magic pill that you say go and you deploy the parachute, you go, and it deploys, the emergency chute. There's no such thing. Because whatever that escape is that someone tells you, they're lying. Because if he don't position himself, or I position myself in a way where that particular escape is neutralized, it's trash. Every side mount escape is trash, and every side mount escape is gold. The key is where is the leak relative to their control. And if he don't hold me in any grip right now, I may not be able to get out immediately, but I can tell you what the weakest part of that grip is at that moment. All right? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every grip has a strength and weakness.
I understand, but
For example,
I see what you're saying, but you can still give him something. And
my point is, but that's based on the grip.
I know, but the grip in a street fight is gonna be what?
Okay, fine. Now I want to reduce
Yes,
it.
about a street fight.
Fine, fine. No, but this guy's trained in Canada. The other guy got trained.
No, he said you're in a street fight. You have to get off your back right now.
I know. But how is the guy holding you? That's my only question.
How can he hold you?
Double underhooks,
No, he can't.
cross face.
Look, he's not gonna do that. But if he does do that, then I'm gonna hold this up right here and go boom, boom.
I know.
kneeing
And
his
then
face.
what? And you're gonna go to your knees.
No,
Go, go, go,
no,
go, 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 go. Do the move.
No, no, no.
Come through and go to your knees and get up.
No, I don't do that.
Just
But
Okay, what if my head is lower? There's no need.
let go. Let go. He's not gonna.
tighter.
He's not gonna do that.
Just tighter.
He's not. This guy.
But my point is,
This guy's friends wouldn't jump in.
Listen, here's what's crazy. Here's what's crazy. Kyle isn't even asking for a street fight.
Oh, he wants to
He's
know.
asking for
us.
Mike
We're
Tavares. He's
big size
asking
out
for
here.
Mike.
Got it.
Now he's not asking. He's asking for you.
Next question then.
No, but it's fair. But he, at least he's an honest guy. But he's just, asking. He's trying to frame it the right way.
Got it. What he's trying to show is urgency.
Urgency in jiu-jitsu with his purple belt training partners.
Got it.
So my point to you, Kyle, back to the original, is what is the leak in the grip? For example, if he does very much of a guard retriever coming to the guard, and I know that, I'm not going to go like this and go for attacking this arm. He's going to shrink to guard. If he's a quarter guard player where he always attacks my inside foot and is feeding into quarter guard, I'm not going to go attack him up here. He's going to feed my foot. If he's a quarter guard player, all of my effort is going to be to make sure that he doesn't access my legs and he can't put his legs in the fight.
Yeah.
The point is, I have great control preventing inward motion, but if he pushes my chin or neck up right now and brings his other hand through and go, 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 go. Look at this. Go, go, get up, and now pulls guard right here, he's going to be just fine. So the point is, you don't want to give your back in a fight ever, unless giving your back is the only thing you can do to deploy that emergency parachute and get out right now, because that is the leak in the grip.
You weren't set up to even capitalize on my back.
Because I was so deeply underhooked,
Yeah.
right? But the point is, when you talk about when you say I'm going to do that, the answer is yes, unless it was a building on fire and you had to go.
Right.
So the answer is, you just have to find where the leaks are in their grip and show me any side mount grip, and I'll show you the leaks. And I think you're aware of a lot of those leaks if you just sit with the position for a little while. But that magic bullet you're asking for doesn't exist.
Now let me show you something really cool about side mount control. Since I'm not going to be traveling for the rest of this year, I thought I was going to travel because of my own personal choice, but now I can't really go anywhere.
There's no option.
So when you land in the side mount, what are the two most valuable things that this person can have for a starting position?
For me,
Yeah.
I would say frame,
Mm-hmm.
and if I'm not going to get out yet, an inside block.
No, and you want to escape.
I would say I would like to start here maybe, or unless I can do my knee
I'm
across
not
your
really
body.
on you right now. Let me get on you. So if I'm on top of you,
Yes.
What are the?
This and this. Maybe.
correct. So this frame and this frame.
Mm-hmm.
So because I understand how valuable this frame is and this frame is, more recently I have been making an effort to side mount someone. This one usually lands automatically. This one's not there right away.
Right.
To land on the side mount, and now I use my shoulder to turn their face. Now I know that when I turn your face, you're gonna want to free my arm off your face. Go ahead, free it off. Boom. Now my knee climbs up,
Oh my goodness.
and now I'm here.
This
So-
is really, yeah.
Because you don't want your elbow out, you want your elbow in.
Way in.
So and the elbow is in. But again, my shoulder turns his face. And how much you drive, it all depends on how close you are to that person. So turn it. As he either reaches to cup and pull it down, or he pushes it off his face. Either way, If he pushes it off, I have more time. If he pulls it, it's faster. But be sensitive where when they reach, boom. Now, right now, you're still holding my arm. The moment you let go, tuck your elbow in. I go over the top. And now my elbow secures your pull
Oh
it
my
back in.
gosh, this is terrible.
You can't pull it back in. Very difficult. The next thing is this. Once he can't do that, he's going to want to frame here. Go back. So I have my hand here to this, bring it in front, and then my head to keep it out. And now here we are. So where do you begin to want to go right now? What's your plan?
Man, there's no way.
There's not too much to even start doing.
I only feel like I can turn this way. That's it. To start trying to turn, but that's not making me feel strong at all.
It's not the
Get my
most
back to you.
natural. Sitting back,
Yeah,
hugging.
it's compromising.
holding.
It's self-compromise. I would not move.
The thing is this, the person on the bottom, if you can create a situation where this person has to,
Expose themselves.
not even, they have to expose, but they're not even in a position to begin trying to escape.
Yes.
Because if I land on top of you and I hold you now,
I see.
you can begin your escape.
Right. I can frame.
But
I
if
can
your
frame.
arm is out,
And
right, and you can't frame my neck,
Yeah.
see, now you need to work on getting yourself in a position to begin escape versus simply beginning your escape.
Do you know what it sounds like? You don't defend the submission.
You defend.
The preparation for the submission. So Hito's not preventing my side mount escape. Like, oh, if he's gonna shrimp the guard, I'm gonna stop the shrimp. No. Hito is preventing me from being in position to even be able to shrimp to guard. And that's so frustrating, you guys. So now I feel like I can't even begin the escape process, which means I have to do some untangling, and throughout that untangling, if I'm not patient, is when I expose myself
Yes.
drastically to all the
Yes.
things we've been talking about so far.
Again, and it's just about you burning. If I can make you for 20, 30 seconds, bump, twist, turn, overreact, to reestablish your elbow tucked in, to frame my neck, then that all counts towards, you know, my submission that's coming, who knows when.
So good.
Questions?
Should we start transitioning for some more philosophy questions?
Yeah, do you have one more good one, or you feel we can go that way?
I feel
Wanna
I
ask?
think we can go that way.
Okay, in that case, you guys start asking some philosophy questions, and I'm gonna show one more thing. This is out right here. Do you already have the questions?
Philosophy?
Maybe.
Yes, couple, yeah.
When the question is right now, when you're like this, what's your move right now?
My move
Yes.
is
Like in terms of safe move, Henry Gracie's safe action. Because are you in a bad position?
yeah.
Can I do bad things to you
Not
here?
right here.
No. So if Henry simply hold hands, and pick your head up a little bit. There you go. To put your head back down. Freeze. I'll frame the neck, and now I'm attacking the arm we learned earlier. But if he puts his head up, you see that? And he holds heads, now don't move. I can't do much, but I will pull my arm around. When I pull my arm around, your right hand behind your head. There. Put it on my hip. Freeze. If he puts it on my hip, I can go back to here also. Put it behind your head. Freeze. Now my arm is stuck. Keep hugging my neck. Now in my attempt to free this trapped arm, I'm going to lift my head up and frame my neck. Once you have my friend, drop your elbow. And now you're out. Okay, philosophy questions. I didn't know you had him ready to go.
Let's just breathe a little bit.
Let's take a moment.
Well, this got me very excited what you just did right here.
I hear,
Because
I
this is
got this out. I got this out. Boom. If you try to get out, escape, burn energy, maybe give me opportunity. But if you hold hands and keep your head up, I can't do much. You are now controlling me. Because I am keeping you from putting me in the guard, but I also want to do things to you. But I can't do things since you're holding me. I can't go here. When I pull my arm out, boom, you put your hand behind your head. So now I can't even frame your neck. Because the frame entry wasn't possible from this side, but it is possible from here
Yes.
if you don't hold behind your head.
Yes.
This is possible. But when you hold behind your head, if you don't hold this, then I can move my body away too easily and frame. But if you hug my neck, it requires me to move a lot, and now I give you the frame. And once you have the frame, the elbow drops, no problem. Oh, that's even better.
Yeah, this is really good, you
even
guys.
better. And then even holding hands there.
So listen, yeah, no, great point. So when you're bottom side mount here, you either defensively for me, right? What I would want on top is underhook, trap the arm, and cross face. This is ideal for Hito. Right? You can attack, you start to pin my arm down, start to isolate, bring his knee inside. This is very bad for me. So if this is true that he wants to have underhook and cross face, I would like to have, before he lands, look, frame and cross face prevention. Framing and blocking this inside arm. This is ideal. Ideally both. The problem is sometimes you can only get one of these two, right? So for example, sometimes he'll bring his hand in and start to hug my neck right here. So now, look, he has the neck hug, but I have the frame, right? And I could start trying to shrimp right now, but this is gonna annoy my face a little bit, so I don't wanna do that. So instead, check this out. With the frame in place, okay, I wanna get this hand back in the fight. Look what I do, a little bit of frame elevation, hand on my chest. Okay, a little deeper. Hand, frame is annoying his neck right here, getting a little pressure. Hand comes just inside the armpit. Now I push off this foot. As I extend my frame, I turn and I reach. And I swallow the arm, look. Boom, shoulder trap. And now, he doesn't like this, he's gonna try to bring his hand out. As he moves his arm a little bit, I get back to here, now I have trim inside, block, some more on the top, block, frame the armpit here. Other side, boom, coming back. Not letting him have a free neck hug. Come inside here, boom, he gets in again. Oh my gosh, you're gonna hug, 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 hold, boom, boom. So the fact that I have this always allows me to recover this inside arm and go. Problem, what if I have this one, but I lose this one in the scuffle? Or maybe he dropped in from knee on belly, like go back up. And I did this, he pushed, but as he dropped down, I'm able to block this, but I lost this battle over here. Hug your head right there, get a deep, yeah, he gets the whole underhook. This is annoying for me, look, because now I can't swim back in, but I do have this. So again, I've lost this one now, and I have this one, where previously, I had this frame, but I lost this arm in the battle, right? So once again, what's gonna happen is, the brother that's still there will save the brother that's not there. So as he gets ready to maneuver from here, at any point that I can, I wanna bring this arm here between our chest, and I use this foot, and I do a little roll. Boom. My hand comes back inside. Boom. So he's here. I bring his elbow, just put it on my chest. Like elbow right across his chest, rib cage, push off this foot. This is the most important part. Using this foot, I don't want to try to separate him. I want to roll this way. Keep this tighter. Look. Boom. Using my elbow. He has to post. And as a result of his arm opening just a little bit, my frame can sneak inside. Now I get this one back and I have this one. So if I lose this one, the frame helps me get it back. Boom. If I lose this one, look, kind of hug I don't let him hug my neck. This comes in, and I go back. And if you lose both, that's when you do what he don't talk about. Hug and hold, everything tight to prevent frames, to prevent progress. Stay close, stay close, stay close. Try to swim inside, can't. Don't try to go anywhere. Try to attack this one, frame one. Use the frame, get the hand, use the hand, get this one back. And we're back to
you guys can see how it might be more natural when I'm going away to block my hip. Do you understand? It's probably the more natural one than to go for the frame.
That idea.
Yes.
Because even doing all this work over here, this arm is still compromised.
Yes.
Good, yeah.
So just understand that when you hold and then they move away, framing the neck, when they give you a little bit of space, you frame the neck. When you frame the neck with that little bit of space, they'll give you so much more space when the frame is in place.
For the shrimp or for the punch through and safe and all that. Many options. Yeah, it's so good. I'm going to show that last one, which is that swim through that you do, and how you get yourself in that bottom of the headlock that annoys me so much. You guys, this is so modern. So frustrating. Something Hito does.
Well, I guess
Ask me if you want to see it.
It makes
It's
sense.
the same context. I know.
it's because you
Did the punch through.
no, because Henner does this. Pin my arm. He pinned this so much, right? And he drops his hips right here on my wrist and pins it and does this. So it's not on my arm. This arm is always like, man, it's always under attack every second, all the time. So then, hold here. So me holding like this delays it a little bit. But even now, I'm just gonna bug my neck with the frame and start bringing elbows inside my arm and start to work it. So, in the middle of this, all I'm waiting for, the same way I sometimes wait for a frame, if I feel this arm open up, I come inside here, and I go over his arm. And now I hold his tricep, or just an elbow pinch, a body hug, a wrist hold, all variations of keeping my arm over his arm. Now, he wants to do a few things. One thing he wants to do is swim inside through here, like that. Go again. Swim through again. I kind of turn, and I hug his neck. So I turn to my side almost, because come inside the hole again. Like that. Go back again. Do that again. It's not easy. A light headlock and a light tricep hold right here. If I don't hold the tricep, what they have inside my body, I'll just start walking around my head, who knows. I don't want that to happen. I want you to stay. Put that over there. I want you to stay right where you are, so I keep you from circling around me by holding the tricep. Now you want to frame my neck with this arm. Freeze. Elbow drop. Go back to your hand. I do it right before. As come inside the hole. I feel it there. Now take it out.
God.
And then I go back to my back as my elbow goes heavy and I hold hands again.
So you play between this head, this pinch, and the other one. Boom and boom. It's so wrong, you guys. Now here's the thing. This grip right here is one of the most frustrating things in the world. And I have a list of top 10 frustrating things, jiu-jitsu and non. This is like top 3 of all time when he does this, because it's not poising him in the best position for escape. But it shuts down everything that I want to do. And I feel like I can't mount, I can't attack, I can't go anywhere, there's nothing I can do. It's very frustrating. One of the worst of all time. And yeah, the best thing for me to do in that situation on top would be what? Do nothing. Because he has full control of me from the bottom. And this is what we call offensive defense. Even though I'm supposed to be the one who I'm attacking, I feel like I'm under attack because it's so frustrating to be the top person who can't even start an attack against that. Offensive defense.
Yes, taking control from the bottom. And in what position, right, are we not able to take control of our opponent? Is it when you're mounted on me?
No, you
Or could I not control you? Because control simply has, all control means is that I need to stop you from progressing through the necessary steps of your move.
I see.
So the move that you wanted to do right there was to pin my wrist.
Yeah. Full
Or-
shutdown. You control it.
You want to do the split series. So because I'm stopping you from progressing into the split series, I am controlling you.
Big
Because
time.
you want to be somewhere. He wants to be somewhere else.
That's everyone's chronic problem.
But because I want to be right there forever, it allows me to
Right.
take control.
Questions?
Yeah, what do you guys do, or when do you forget the timer in jiu-jitsu?
The clock. When we're rolling, when do we forget it?
What does we forget?
Like when do we not think about the clock, right? When is the clock
When do
not
I think
on our
about
mind? When do you think about it? Is
What
it
clock are we talking about?
That's a better question. So we think about it simply because we have another class lining up or coming in. So we're considering the time for the end of the class.
Yeah,
But in terms of the
Yeah.
5-minute or 7-minute round, why do we have rounds?
just to change partners.
To change partners. But it is true though that when we have a clock running and it says, let's say it's a 6-minute round and it's counting down, sometimes I have even said, 20 seconds left.
Why?
I know, it's so weird.
He's guilty.
And when I say 20 seconds, everybody in the room does what?
Goes hard.
Something. Doesn't matter where you are, you just move because you feel like where you are is not enough. So if you're on top, you go for a submission. If you're on the bottom, you go for an escape. Because
what would you like to see?
if I say 20 seconds left and nobody moves a muscle, then that means that everybody in the room has
Happy where they are.
has not only forgotten the clock, but they have not been
Brainwash.
I want to say negatively influenced by this crazy idea that when you're on top, your job is to submit. Or when you're on the bottom, your job is to escape.
Which is the biggest disease in jiu-jitsu.
Yes, it's the coronavirus of jiu-jitsu.
All right.
Because it's that time.
So Mark and Marty. Mark has 2 sons and Marty has 2 daughters. So Mark, his son's motivation are through the roof and he wants to advance quickly. What can I do to keep him grounded, and not to keep him jumping so quickly? And connects with Martin's question, which is, my daughters, they love the Gracie game days, they love the Gracie games and practicing. But can you toss them a few motivational words to keep them rolling during this isolation?
So 2 separate questions. One for
2 sons. 2 sons that want to keep grounded because maybe the sons,
are so fired up.
they're so, jiu-jitsu is so much, it's everything to them. It's taking over, which I think is okay, so long as they are the drive behind that passion.
Yes.
If the parent is saying, go and do this, go and compete and train more, it's one thing. But if the child is saying, hey, I want to go do more jiu-jitsu, let them lead, and it's all good. And depending on their age, there's no doubt, I don't believe there's any doubt that if you could be 7, 10, 14, 16, these are all kids that live at home potentially. Almost every child, I believe, will reach a moment where they're a little bit burnt out about the jiu-jitsu. And I believe that the chances of them feeling that, I don't want to do this anymore, are much greater if the parent is forcing or putting a little extra pressure to practice or to compete or to even perform better in class, if the parent is constantly on the child when they're in class and correcting them, these are the type of things that make it to where it's no longer enjoyable. But if the child is in charge and the passion comes from within them.
So what do you recommend for all the parents out there is the best thing to say to their children after a training session or after they go to class?
That's great.
That's cool.
Victoria has taught me not to say great job when the child does class. You watch their class for an hour, hey, you did a great job today.
Why not?
Because that almost puts it on, now the child is looking for the extrinsic, right, validation. Well, it's not intrinsic. So we don't, because if it's a good job today, I might not say anything next Tuesday. And then it's, I didn't do good, I didn't get your approval, I didn't get the same energy, I didn't get the same pat on the back, I didn't get the same dinner at the restaurant after the class, who knows? So the most important thing to say is, I really enjoyed watching you today. Or how was the class for you?
Fun.
And they can say it was fun, or yeah, it was a little frustrating. And you say, yeah, it looked a little frustrating to you, want to tell me more about it? And you go from there. But I enjoyed watching you. Whatever they're doing, I just enjoyed watching you. It was a pleasure to be here watching you. Now, to say that, you have to actually be watching them. You can't be on your phone the whole hour when they're in the class, which I know that sometimes class is phone time for you and class for them, but then you just simply say, I hope you had a good class.
Right.
Or you watch them because you know that when you say, I really enjoyed watching you, they feel somewhat proud that they're doing it and that you enjoyed watching it, and it makes them feel good to know that you're there because you're saying that jiu-jitsu matters. By you being there, taking them to jiu-jitsu class, you're saying jiu-jitsu matters. By watching the class, you're saying jiu-jitsu matters. And by doing jiu-jitsu classes yourself,
Boom. What about kids need motivation, words of encouragement right now for kids who are training, they're at home, they're doing it, they can't go to class right now. Listen, kids, besides the fact that this is a great opportunity, and adults also, for parents and children to do this together in their houses. I'm training with my sons more than I ever have at home during coronavirus, and we own Gracie University, and I haven't trained my kids as much as I have in the last 2 weeks. So it's great for us. Take advantage of this time together, 15 minutes a day. It doesn't have to be crazy. Watch Gracie Bullyproof, do 1 or 2 Gracie games, have fun, go have dinner afterwards. So very minimal training. You don't have to do too much any given day. Keep track of what you're learning, kids, because whatever you learn and practice, when you go back and demonstrate it to your teacher, you're going to get credit on your card towards your next promotion. So make sure you guys are tracking all this at-home progress. In terms of motivation, all I can say is this, kids. There are 2 lives to be lived. A life grown up with jiu-jitsu and a life grown up without jiu-jitsu. We don't know the without jiu-jitsu life because we didn't have a choice. We were 2 years old doing jiu-jitsu, we grew up, we had it our whole lives. So we don't know what it's like to grow up and go through middle school, high school, and have all the challenges that come and not have jiu-jitsu at our disposal. We only know what life is like with jiu-jitsu.
and life is good.
I can't say it's better than without. I can just say it's amazing to grow up and be the person amongst your friends who actually knows how to fight, who actually knows how to physically use your body in ways that nobody else knows, unless they also do jiu-jitsu, and to be able to protect other people as much as yourself. One day there was a volleyball practice. I was in high school, maybe 10th grade, right, 15, 16 years old, volleyball practice. The coach didn't show up, and there's 14, 15 kids. And they all knew I did jiu-jitsu. They're all ages, even older than me. They all kind of know, and one kid was like, Hannah, what's up with that jiu-jitsu stuff? And I said, what's up? He says, yeah, I mean, do you do that? And, does it actually work? I said, I don't know. You want to find out? He said, yeah, I do. I said, cool, let's go right here. And there was a basketball gym, right, volleyball, which means hardwood floor, like what we have in here. But it's a little bit soft, right? Hardwood floor is not like concrete. It has a little forgiveness.
It's a little volleyball.
It's a little volleyball. So you fall in a basketball game, it's all good. So I ended up sparring all 15 volleyball boys, volleyball team, back to back to back. Everybody tapped, because their coach never showed up. Tap, boom, next, 12 seconds, 30 seconds, 15 seconds. After that, you guys, the word was out. Yo, that Henry guy, he does jiu-jitsu and he gets down and you won't believe what he did. And he tapped on this and he blah, 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 and did all that. That was one, I was like, yes, great to have this skill. And this is cool because some people didn't know about my family and Gracie family. Not that you have to fight everybody to prove yourself. I'm just saying it was amazing. That's number one. Number two, Marvin. We were at the lunch benches, having a peaceful afternoon at the lunch benches over there, everyone minding their business.
There was a kid in my grade, Marvin, who I wasn't a friend with, but we grew up together, so we're in the same grade, so we know we exist, coexist. Big kid, like 200 pounds in high school, 210, tall like me, and just a big, hefty kid. And one day I look over, and Marvin is just cussing, absolutely shredding apart this little kid who was probably a grade or two lower. This is probably 11th grade for us, and this kid was a 9th grader, I believe. Just shredding him apart, cussing and yelling in his face, and it looked like he was about to rip his head off and just beat him up. And I immediately saw this. I had no story. I didn't know anything about what I had just seen. I got up instantly and went over and boom, back up. And I pushed Marvin away from the kid, and I got right in between him and I. Hey man, what's your problem? I said, hey, I don't know. Leave him alone. Blah, 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 blah. I said, doesn't matter. You have a problem with him, you have a problem with both of us. I didn't know the kid.
You didn't even know if the kid.
I didn't know if the kid was wrong or right. I didn't know whose fault it was.
So you probably shouldn't have done that.
But I knew that what could have happened in that moment
Marvin attacked you.
could have changed their lives forever. I knew that they could have fought. Marvin could have punched him violently because he doesn't have jiu-jitsu to do it gently. Could have cracked him in the skull, fell down, broke his teeth. We don't know.
Bro, you saved Marvin.
Exactly.
Marvin could have been expelled, arrested.
I put out a fire that I had nothing to do with. And that's what we try to teach in Gracie Bully Proof, is learn jiu-jitsu, not even for yourself. That's what we teach in jiu-jitsu, in life, in combatives, in Master Cycle, Women Empowered. Learn how to defend yourself. 99% chance so that you can protect someone else. 1% chance that you end up having to survive in a situation. But that's not the most likely. So kids especially, learn jiu-jitsu because you can be a real-life superhero if you can help a situation that no one else could have helped because they didn't have the skills or the confidence to intervene like you have and can.
So I gotta say a few things. One, you said the volleyball coach, was it volleyball?
Yes, volleyball coach. No, I was on the volleyball team for like a few months.
You played volleyball, got it.
No, I didn't play.
I didn't know you played volleyball.
No, I didn't
I
play.
didn't know you were a volleyball player.
No, there was a
Okay,
girl
so
who worked in the team who I was trying to get close to. So I joined the team just to kind of talk to this girl, and then one day the guy showed up, so I never actually played.
Either way, Henry's volleyball coach never showed up. But the coach showed up. You became the coach that day.
Oh,
It was a great lesson for these kids.
I never
Now,
thought about it.
another thing is this, is that when I think about you saying, 15 minutes of practice,
Yes.
sometimes parents believe because an hour or an hour and a half is so common in jiu-jitsu practice,
Yes.
that they want to carve out like a jiu-jitsu practice window
Yes.
and put mats out
No.
and DVDs
No.
and put our gis on. It's a process.
Nope.
It is not, I'm sorry, it doesn't have to be like that. It can be you play with your children on the carpet, no mats, no gis, no nothing, for 7 minutes. You say 15 minutes. It can be
Too much.
7 minutes.
Be 2 moves.
It could be 2 moves.
Spider
it could
kid.
be, no, it could be on their way to the refrigerator. You just start checking their base and you ask them a question. You discuss the topic. It's very little. So by you taking that approach, it also shows them that it's less about them being amazing at jiu-jitsu, but more about them having an understanding of what he's talking about. Having some basic survival skills that they can take with them throughout their lives. So, and even for children, because children see parents and other kids doing jiu-jitsu that are very into it. And maybe a part of them thinks, you know what, I can't be as into it as those kids.
So there's no middle ground.
Correct,
All
but there
the way
is a middle ground. That's the thing. So it's up to the parent to create that middle ground. And you do that by not doing the mats, by not wearing the gi, by not making a schedule, by whenever it makes sense.
There you go. And that's the same as my house. Literally, if I want to do jiu-jitsu, I just lay on the floor. 2 boys just come running and jump on me. And then all of a sudden I'm checking his base.
Mm-hmm.
I'm turning over, he's doing crazy horse. So you learn the Gracie games formally somewhere else at a different time when you watch them. But you deploy them throughout the day randomly.
Yeah. And it becomes more formal when the child.
Yes.
The child will say, hey, can we do jiu-jitsu tomorrow
So I
morning?
can get some credits or something?
Correct.
Can we like do
They're
it?
going to start giving you indicators that you say, okay, hey, if you want to do more, do you want me to, here's this card, or here's this sheet of paper, it's all printed out. Do you want to check off all the ones that you know? And they say, no, I don't care, done. And then leave the card right there. Whenever you're ready, let me know. So once again, the child is leading. You are just ready. And if the child says, hey, you don't say, hey child, you know what, here's a piano, go start learning it. Or whatever it may be, or drawing. You have paper and pen out. And when they grab it and they start drawing, you watch them. And as they go, you facilitate by giving them more,
Resources to develop that skill.
More
That's what
tools.
you are. You're a resource to help develop that skill, but let them lead.
Last one?
But if your kid's in jiu-jitsu, don't quit.
If your kid's in jiu-jitsu,
Once you're doing jiu-jitsu 2, 3, 4 years, 7 years old, 8 years old, 9 years old, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu anymore. Not an option. Not in my house.
Next
Hold on,
question.
say that again. No, so
We differ in our
if
opinions
a
on this.
9-year-old kid
A
wants to
9-year-old
quit,
kid wants to quit
7-year-old
jiu-jitsu.
kid wants to quit.
No, I want to go home and play video games.
the parent says
I want to
no,
play video games.
you can't quit.
I want to play video games. I don't want to go to jiu-jitsu anymore. I'm 11. I want to play video games.
I understand.
My answer is no.
You cannot
You
quit.
cannot quit. You have to do your homework. You have to go to school, do your actual homework.
Mhm.
You have to eat vegetables twice a week. Whatever, more than that. Should be 5 days a week. Now, some kids are tough, you know. And you have to learn self-defense. By the time you're 18, you can decide if you want to learn self-defense or not.
Listen,
But this is something you have to know. You have to know how to swim. You have to know how to ride a bike. You have to know how to read and write. You have to know how to add and subtract. And you have to know how to defend yourself. Because putting a kid out into the world without them knowing how to defend themselves is like letting a kid turn to 18 without you ever having taught them how to swim because they didn't like going in the pool.
So-
No, have to do this. This is mandatory.
so listen.
I want to see what the comments are on this.
Hold on. So I agree with what you're saying, but that requires a certain connection between parent and child.
Well, that's what jiu-jitsu's for.
No. Other connection in other ways.
I know it does.
Because if the parent, for example, is consumed with work, you understand, and is very short with the child, and you know, like it's very difficult to really be there fully for your child
Yes.
and really connect with the child. Even I have a hard time with this, and I feel like I'm getting better. So only when you are fully connected to them and you take time and you hear them and you're there for them, can you say something like, I'm not gonna let you quit, it's too important.
Yes.
Because if things are rocky in other areas and you say you
I'm with it.
can't quit, now you have an 11, 13-year-old that is now angry.
Yeah.
But it doesn't allow it to become anger because they feel so supported and so loved everywhere else.
It's true.
So
I'm with it. I agree.
the last thing you want is a 15-year-old being forced to do something because 16-year-olds are doing what these days?
Yeah.
Disappearing.
Gone.
Who knows how they can rebel, and they might go to jiu-jitsu, but we don't know what they're going to do on the other side. You understand?
Right.
17 years old, they're gone, never call you again. So our grandfather always said, when the child turns 18, they're either your friend or they're not your friend. When they're 18, 19, 20, they're going to ask you for advice when life throws challenges at them, or they're going to go figure it out on their own and not ask you for advice. And whether or not they come to you has so much to do with how the energy was and how you treated them throughout all of the small challenges at 9 years old, 12, 14. And when they said, I don't want to do jiu-jitsu, and you say, sorry, you have to. Versus, I can see you don't want to do jiu-jitsu, and we can change the date, we can do private classes, we can do with whatever instructor you like. There are ways to do jiu-jitsu, but you still have to do jiu-jitsu. You and I can do jiu-jitsu. If you train jiu-jitsu as a parent at home, we can do jiu-jitsu, you and I, for an hour, once a week. That can be an option if you don't want to go to class.
That counts.
So they don't have to do jiu-jitsu how they're doing it.
Correct.
Which shows that you're working with them. And then when you do that, what happens when they turn 18, 19, and they get somebody pregnant? They go to you first because you're a safe
So
person.
there you go. Having the requirement to do jiu-jitsu for the rest of your life is only possible if the relationship is there to make that type of expectation a reality and for them to understand the benefits because they trust the source of that and there's a solid communication foundation relationship.
Yep.
I love that. Let's get a few more questions. While he's looking at the next question, you guys, we're going to give
You
away,
have-
I know, while we're going to do that, we're going to give away Quikflip to the entire family. So right now, in addition to the questions that Andre has that we're going to answer, use this time to start firing your, right, CTC location. Where do you train, right? Let me know where you train. And let me know the members of your family. How many hoodies do you need? 2, 3, 4?
Family 4, family 7.
Listen, whoever lives in your house, name the kid, name your husband, wife. If it's just you two, if you're by yourself, you can enter. You say, I need my own hero hoodie, I don't have one. If you have one, you can still enter. So Quikflip for the entire family. Who's in the family? Look, who's in the family and what sizes you need? Medium, large, they're unisex, and we have kid sizes as well, youth sizing as well. Let us know. We're going to send the whole family. You have to comment right now, and you got to be present to win. So start firing off. Yvonne's going to receive that. Everyone in your family and their sizes, and we're going to read it out.
Question. If you're husband and wife, and you both already have one, you should not enter. You should just say, I love my hero hoodie.
Or I want it for my 2 kids.
That's different.
Okay.
They don't have one.
Don't be greedy, you guys. If you're already team Quikflip,
How many do you need?
we
One
want,
hero
we
hoodie.
want a new family, but you can enter for
Yeah.
someone in your family. But you guys, don't be greedy, you guys. Let's spread the love. But we're going to hook the rest of you guys up as well. Family member, CTC fam. You're going to get 20% off for the next 2 weeks on quikflipapparel.com. So everybody else can order whatever you want. CTC fam is the code. CTCFAM is the code. Go on to quikflipapparel.com, order, get 20% off. One purchase. You can put as many items as you want, but it's a one-time code for each one of you guys for the next 2 weeks, so take advantage of that. We got a bunch of new stuff. I'll show you guys those in a second. We'll answer some more questions.
So as a white belt, when do I stay still? When the person I'm rolling with is giving us advices to stop rolling. I'm just trying to chill and get comfortable and make some movement. But how do I keep them rolling? How do I keep them from telling me to stop moving? As a white belt, because I want to explore my body.
So the white belt wants to be looser. The higher belt wants to say, hey, chill out, bro, stop, chill.
The higher belt's trying to give good advice, which is be patient, wait, hold,
And
don't move.
I'm trying to go and explore movement.
And that is valuable advice, to hold and not move.
It's also valuable to explore your body's
To
ability
play.
to go and move.
Especially in
To learn what not to do, you kind of got to do what you're not supposed to do.
Or sometimes you're supposed to move. And you
True.
have to learn how to move. You have to practice moving if you want to know how to move.
Listen, but in terms of, the question was, as the lower rank, how do I get the higher rank to stop telling me what to do? First of all, you should be grateful that you have training partners who are saying, hey, right here, do this, right here, do that. It's a very, very special thing. Not every school has that, so schools that do have that have a great culture where the higher belts are trying to educate the lower ranking students and help them guide them to a better way. However, if you're a lower rank and someone gives you advice, and you're not trying to hear that right now, you're just trying to move and go, you can do that. Just plug your ears, keep doing exactly what you're doing, and they're going to keep rolling, and you're going to realize the shortcomings of your, explorative movements very quickly, and you have the right to do that though. So you can hear them, but you don't have to listen to them if you don't want to. But I'll tell you right now, the difference between, this progression curve towards black belt or purple belt or whatever, and this progression curve, you're still going to get there, just much longer. The difference in that angle is largely tied to the immediacy with which you incorporate advice given to you by other people who are better than you, right? So if I roll with someone, guy blue belt gets tapped, and right when he gets tapped, he goes, Henry, what could I have done differently to avoid that? That student who's deriving, who's extracting that information is going to grow at a much higher and faster rate than the one who gets caught and goes, man, I should try something else. And gets right back into it and doesn't even focus on how they got caught to begin with. So that advice, I would advise you to listen to it before you dismiss it instead of the other way around.
Yeah. Do you sometimes feel like those that are more experienced say things like, hey, don't move, calm down, be still here? Because sometimes they're not that much more experienced.
They're trying to calm you down.
They're trying to calm you down because maybe you're a little bit of a headache for them. That's kind of what came to my mind, right?
And a liability sometimes.
And a liability for
Sometimes
their
the
ego.
lower ranks, liability physically. When a lower rank, let's say a blue belt 2 stripes is one with a brand new blue belt, and the brand new blue belt is all in and he's 30 pounds heavier, it's like, hey bro, chill out right here. Because he's trying to tell you you're about to hurt you or you're about to hurt me, and what you're doing is not efficient. So there's many reasons why they might be giving you that advice, not just because what you're doing is wrong, but it could be a safety hazard for either one of you.
And you as the newer blue belt, you feel like, you know what, I don't have to chill out, I can escape.
I can force my way out of here.
But the truth is you can, but can you against Henry?
Right, can you without wasting loads of energy in the process? So it's not just accomplishing the objective that matters, it's how efficiently you do so.
Yeah, because one could argue that I can escape 99% of the side mounts in our building. But anytime somebody side mounts me, I imagine it to be you.
Right.
I treat everybody like you,
Or like yourself.
or like myself.
That's interesting.
And I'm not doing that for any reason other than I want to be the best that I can be possible. I want to reach my highest potential. And my highest potential is how I perform against those that are the most experienced. So it's, but it's still fun when you're new. It's fun to just escape, just to get out. And I had that phase.
Listen,
Maybe I explored it for a little too long.
It's very human. It's very human to feel like, I want to get out right now. So they do it.
Yeah.
It's very not unhuman to say, I want to get out right now, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah, it's long-term
Very
gratification
long-term.
versus
And
short-term
It's
gratification.
a very mature mindset for jiu-jitsu that not everyone can achieve in a short amount of time, and most blue and purple belts still haven't achieved. They have no sense of that. And the ones who do get it at blue and purple, oh my gosh, it's like rolling with a black belt who doesn't have that mindset. The purple belt with that mindset is the black belt without it. That's how it, and we have many CTC instructors around the world, many are watching right now, who rolling with them is like, it's way more challenging to create openings and to catch them and surprise them than a black belt who is impatient and doesn't have the most strategic and efficient mental approach.
One more.
Last one?
They want to know some suggestions. Now, of course, you guys already give it, but that your grandfather and father gave to you guys. They're very unique from the bottom of the side mounter. Things that they advice that they're really precise to each one of them, that they help you guys.
question is advice
Is
that
your
we got.
question? Evandro's like over there thinking, what can I ask?
No, Evandro's question is, what's the most efficient advice, what's the best advice we got from our ancestor, right, grandfather, dad, uncles? I feel like they all specialize in different things, but I think that our grandfather gave us the biggest breakthrough advice, right? Right, you want to talk about the one in terms of rolling with uncles of ours.
Yeah, I remember there's a quote that says, if you don't lose, you can only win. So a quote like that. If you don't lose, then only winning is left.
Right.
For you to do. And that quote simply means if you can avoid defeat, you won. So when you live by that, then you let go of this expectation that you have to submit people, which for whatever reason, it has done. Jiu-jitsu has become submission-only tournaments, and go for submission, go for submission, go for submission. So this quote, if you don't lose, you can only win, I would say is the core of
But we heard that our whole lives.
But it never really landed.
It didn't land until we were like 20 years old. 20, 19.
18, yeah, 19.
You know, whole life hearing this. So if you guys can take this advice and you can explain it more thoroughly.
And really enroll with somebody, and even if I say 20 seconds left, 10 seconds, and you're underneath someone in the side mount who's a lower belt than you.
Yes.
And you're defending for the whole 3, 4 last 5 minutes you're on the bottom for the last 3 minutes. And it ends, and you're like, you feel good, then you're on the path and you understand this. Now, if at the end of 3 minutes, you were defending and you said, man, I couldn't get out, and I barely defended, I didn't win. If you respond to yourself, you talk to yourself like that, then you are not hearing what Eddie Gracie told us, which is if you do not lose, you can only win. He did not mean win by submitting someone. That if you don't get tapped out, you will eventually submit them. He meant if you don't get tapped out, that is the victory. So that is one quote. And then that quote, combined with, I do not defeat my opponents, they defeat themselves. You see, that quote now allows for, I don't need to beat you. I need to not lose long enough and stick around and watch you defeat yourself. And how do they defeat themselves? Through the belief that they need to finish you. Because we know that everybody in the world, wherever they are, the moment they land there, they're already trying to go somewhere else. And that carries over so strongly into jiu-jitsu. So allow people to defeat themselves with this idea of having to pass your guard, escape your side mount, submit you from the side mount, submit you from the bottom of guard. And when they go, they'll defeat themselves by
physically exhausting, and nothing's more exhausting than attempted punches that miss. Nothing's more exhausting than attempted submissions that don't land because they're giving 100% and you catch nothing. Physically exhausting and psychologically exhausting, and then
now those things happen.
You're there to pick up the pieces and take your pick.
And then you take your pick, not even from a place of I have to submit them. But now, okay, they couldn't submit me. I can see their spirits are down and their energy is down. So now you look at them and you just ask yourself, is there anything there? Can I distract them? Can I probe them a little bit to make them overreact and give something? Yes, no, if not, no problem. If so, let me explore it a little bit. Let me give a little bit of effort to make them overreact. And if they give it, you take it. If they don't give anything, then it ends with another victory, which is them being more tired than you are.
Which is a victory. There it is, friends. That's how David beats Goliath. If you don't lose, you will eventually win.
This mindset right here, I feel like I say this all the time. This mindset is not for David. Do you understand? This mindset is for everybody because everybody is David. In David and Goliath, there's only one Goliath. Great. But in the real world, this mindset, these two concepts, which is one concept, right, which is jiu-jitsu, this is for everybody. I don't care how strong, young, athletic, competitor, cool you are. There will be a day where if you don't adopt this mindset, this way of doing jiu-jitsu, jiu-jitsu will chew you up and spit you out. You will be gone from jiu-jitsu.
You'll have your run.
Yes.
And then you'll fail to meet your expectations around 45, 50 years old.
What? 45, 50.
When?
45, 50?
55?
Supposed to be 33 years old. Do you understand?
And still be
And
quick.
you'd still be getting demolished by people who are 22.
And self-demolishing with the wrong mindset.
Yeah.
Got it.
If you think 45, 50 is so far away. People are 27 right now.
And they'll be done.
On
by
top of the
25.
world. They're on top of the world. They have no idea what's around the corner. There's somebody coming around the corner that's going to knock on your door in 4 years. And you're going to all of a sudden say, oh my gosh, I can't do my guard passes, my side mount escapes, my side mount submissions. Whatever you're amazing at, nothing's going to work for you. And then you're going to feel like, I can't do this anymore. You're not going to say, hey, you know what? Those that do not lose can only win. You're never going to say that because all you know is 7, 9 years of submit. So you have to start programming yourself now because the day is so close. 27 years old, 30 years old, 19-year-olds, 225 pounds, been training since they were 6.
They're coming.
What are you going to do? Nothing. You're done.
Unless, right now,
You decide right now.
self-defense for life, which is the principles that he was talking about. The best advice our grandfather ever gave us was this one. If you don't lose, you'll eventually win. He lived by that till 95, and he was able to train until then because of it, right? He never disqualified himself from jiu-jitsu because his definition of victory, of survival only, was sustainable until 95. But any other definition, he would have had to quit.
So when people say stuff like, I can't do jiu-jitsu, he looks at you like, what? What do you mean you can't do jiu-jitsu? You would only say I can't do jiu-jitsu if you don't understand this mindset.
This definition.
If this is your truth, then of course. So him at 87 years old, what do you mean you can't do jiu-jitsu?
He doesn't get
You must not understand what jiu-jitsu is.
There it is.
You think jiu-jitsu is just run people over and kill them. You're lost. But let me show you what jiu-jitsu is. Come over here and mount the 87-year-old me. And then he teaches you jiu-jitsu and then, but then you forget. You forget. You forget because,
Well, not anymore.
no,
It's on video.
no, they still forget. Because when you get on the mat, you feel strong. And you do something and it looks good. People say, wow, that was a great arm lock. Or a great sweep. And then you walk in the locker room and you tell somebody what happened. You say, hey, I got an arm lock. And they're like, oh, sick. And you forget. And you fall back into this trap of having to do, go, kill. What did you say earlier?
Drill to kill.
Drill to kill mindset.
I shouldn't have said that.
You
guys.
think like
I
that.
edited out of the video. Okay, you go over there and pick your family. Go pick a family. I'm gonna do a little demo here. Look, you guys, here's what we're giving away today. We got some quick flips. I'm gonna bring some of the new ones here. Look at this. Let me take this off. Raise your hand if you're team quick flip already. Who out there already gets down with that? Look at this one, you guys. I don't know if you guys can tell the true dopeness of this color, but this is the new tactical green quick flip, which I love. It's my new favorite color. It was my friend Jordan's idea, not my friend. Chief Operations Officer of Quikflip, Jordan. He was like, Hannah, we need a dope green. He's a very like kind of green, like nature, military type guy. And he was like, we need that tactical green. I'm like, dude, we teach a lot of military and law enforcement. I'll get down with that. So look at this, tactical green, kind of like an olive, but it's heather with all black trim. So if you could freaking go down and get down with someone, this is the one you need. There's the front. Look, there's the back. Beautiful stitching, contrast stitching. And then look, this comes off. For those who don't know, look, upside down goes the hoodie. Look at this. Upside down hoodie. On the inside, there's your patented pouch. Look at that integration. Completely invisible and undetectable. You reach in, watch. I grab and I do a little jiggle. Look, in goes your hoodie. Look, if you guys don't own Quikflip, you're tripping right now. Look, a little shakedown. Look, pull this tight. And look what you have, you guys. Fully functional backpack right here. Inside, you have a pocket for your cell phone and keys. Right here, a special safety pocket. Okay? And then the best part is you can put another hoodie inside. So when I go to the park with Haven or Henson, I put their hoodies inside. I wear this, we go to the park, have a grand old time. If we have to run or skateboard, you have your adjustability clips right here. Look. There's your slide and bite. Look at this. You just adjust and now it's fully locked up. So now it's tight. Look at it. Now it's not going to bounce around while you're jogging, and then you're ready. You just pop the locks right here. Boom, boom. Got your backpack. Let's say it starts getting cold at the park. You take this off. Look, open it up. Reach in. Pull out Haven's jacket. Give it to him. Reach in. Grab mine. Gone is your backpack. Out comes your favorite hoodie, and you're good to go. We also just released this beautiful new, right? Look at this. Heather Navy. Look at that, Pacific Navy, blue pouch on the inside, contrast draw cords, metal zipper.
Is that large?
These are the classics. Calm down, calm
Is
down.
that large?
No, large. No. Hidon just came up on yours, you guys. I was gonna give that to you guys, but that means I can only do a family of 2 now.
No, I picked a family of 5.
Look at this. So this one's also a new one right now. These are the new lightweights, and I'm telling you, like for around the house and like around the office, everyday use. Like this is more nice. Like this is a very nice hoodie. French terry.
That's like
Premium.
anniversary.
Yeah, this is
Squad
anniversary.
dinner.
Weddings, formal attire, banquets of nature. This is
Yeah.
where you wear the French terry. For more casual, you have this super fuzzy, soft interior here. Look at this. And there's your integrated pouch. We have this new camo in the lightweight. In goes your hoodie. This is a size small, so it's gonna be a small backpack. Look at this. Out comes your double draw cord, simple little backpack, size small, boom, camo backpack, fuzzy lining right there. Perfect for a day at Disneyland once coronavirus lets up. So we have these lightweights, we have the French terries, we have the different colors. We have black and charcoal in the French terry also. As you can see, Bubba representing with the charcoal right here. Our most popular ones are black and charcoal. Then you got Pacific Navy and Heather. Boom. Then you got the black and camo here for the lightweights. Which family wins? What are their names? So Hidon's gonna announce the winner right now, and whatever he announces, you're gonna get Quikflip for the whole family. We're gonna send those out. You can just tell me what colors you want, and we'll send it out. Everyone else, CTC FAM, CTC fam for the next 2 weeks, 20% off. Get in there. We have the new French terry. Get this one; it's almost gone. We have about 50 of these left. We have about a couple hundred of these left, and then for the black and charcoal, we have more because we ordered more because they're such popular colors.
What's your favorite color?
It's very good.
Like, do you like it better than that?
I like this the most.
Oh, you would, right?
I love the military, like boom, tax Navy SEAL.
But
I always said if I wasn't gonna be
that military.
no, it's tactical green with black trim. That's the Navy SEAL.
This is the actual color.
Bro, I mean, the number of Navy SEALs that have ordered this hoodie already, I can't disclose, it's top secret, but it's like the #1. And people who play those video games, right, the Black Ops, all the kids are ordering these right now because they want to feel like they're in the game, and then when they have to convert and get their backpack and they can keep playing because they're sweating because they play so much gaming above their nose, if they get down, you gotta be able to convert and keep going. Tactical green. But anyways, Jordan's idea, you guys thank Jordan when you see him.
You do like this. Yeah,
So talk about family, and once we contact the family, then you guys can let us know which ones you want, and we'll take care of you. You know, Quikflip, that's what's up.
Norfolk, Virginia, CTC, Tommy Cole, family of 5.
Tommy Cole, family of 5, Norfolk, Virginia, CTC. Norfolk is Bill Odom CTC, the first ever CTC in the history of the organization. So congratulations, Tommy and the family. Bill, set us up. We're going to get connected. We'll get his email address, and we'll find out the family's info, get the right sizes, and shoot it out for everybody. And Team Quikflip for life. Once you have it, there's only one responsibility. The only requirement when you own a Quikflip hoodie, and this is not just for Tommy and family, it's everybody. If you ever see someone doing this on the street, or worse, European Yacht Club, you have to stop them. You have to walk up to them and you have to say, hey, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I don't want to be rude, but I gotta just say something real quick. Can I show you something? What is it? I'm a magician. Let me just show you a trick real quick, right? Magicians are more acceptable in public interference. I'm gonna show you a magic trick, right? Not selling you anything. You hold your hoodie upside down, right before their eyes. You just tuck and roll, little jiggle, and go like this. There's a better way. There's a better way. And in cases like that, sometimes they have such an emotional response because they've lived like this for so long around the waist, around the neck, that at that point, you know, sometimes you feel like you have to donate your hoodie to the person who's breaking down in front of you right now with all the realizations of what their closet is full of trash. So you provide them with your hoodie, you just kind of...
And then you get a 20% discount.
And then you come talk to me and I'll take care of you. And if this transaction that you donate is filmed on camera, then it's a big, you guys know how we get down with the video.
Hidden
I
camera.
want to see who does that.
Tell them what you're supposed to do.
I want to see someone interrupt someone who's wearing it crazy, have the whole thing filmed, do the full breakdown, and then
you tell them, hey, count to 3.
oh yeah, it's awesome. So then you open up at the end and you say, hey, it turns into a backpack, sliding bike technology. You show them all that, and then you open this up. Then you reach in, count to 3, 1 pull, and then everybody's back. You guys. Then you say too late. Okay, I did the Shark Tank.
These are important things that you know, because if you're going to be doing this,
Watch Shark Tank.
If you're going to be having a hidden camera following you do this, you should have the script on point.
If I need the video to be tight, you guys. So anyways, I want to see who sends that video first. If the first person to send that video of them interrupting someone for real, full transaction, and the boom, I'm going to take care of you. You know what's up. We get down. All right, cool. So Tommy Cole, you guys are all set?
Yep.
Everyone else, thank you guys for joining us. It goes down again next Saturday. Okay? I think this time worked. Australia was very happy. Dave, Scott, Robbie, and the family out there, you guys. Thank you guys for joining us this time. Sorry, last show was like at 4 a.m. for you guys. We apologize. That was, my bad.
This exists
This
later.
was Hidon's idea to do it 3 o'clock and take care of you guys.
This is
If you're in Europe right now and you're still up with us, we appreciate you. If you're in Bahrain and you're watching, say what's up to Jordan and the crew over there, all the guys, okay, Amar,
Jocelyn, everybody over there. What's up, you guys?
What about if you're in?
Well, I'm just
You
saying,
say
those are the most compromised. Yeah, those ones are in the time zone right now. If you're 2
Got it.
a.m., if you're hustling with us right now, like, we love you guys, okay? And everybody else, CTC's for life. We appreciate you.
What are we doing next week?
Next week is going to do guard, some mount, side mount, guard, and then half guard, then back mount, leg locks, and standing. So guard is next week, chapter 3. Same time, I think this feels good.
It
So
feels good.
we're gonna announce it, talk to your CTC during the week. They're gonna send you guys the notification, and we're gonna get down, and we'll keep it within the family, I guess you
Let
guys.
us know some things that we can give away. I don't know if you
Oh,
have
yeah.
any ideas,
Oh yeah.
but feel free to comment.
Well,
ideas
right
of
now,
things that we
leave
can give away.
comments, leave comments on this video of things we should give away next week. I'm down with that 100%. What would be the giveaway that you guys would love the most? The most.
Do you think it's better to give one family of 5? We chose one family of 5, or 5 people.
We could have done that.
5 different quick flips. Is it better to have one person?
The
Like,
problem is this: if you give one to someone in a family, it's just so heartbreaking.
no, but you always say only one hero hoodie per family.
Because then all the junk hoodies can go inside that
Yeah,
hero.
you
I
say
feel you.
that.
Technically, you need one hero per family. I'm right.
Yeah.
I'm right.
No, I'm right.
I said it first.
I know.
All right. Thank you to Evandro over here, our bro over here for managing the situation. He handled that for you guys today. Got all the questions filtered, and you can count on him, you guys. That's what's up. Thank you guys, and end this feed right here, and peace out.